When we last left our heroes...
That was Neil dying.
Acting
Hold on one
down,
second.
coughing because she's been set on fire and there's a lot of smoke inhalation.
Aren't you also crushed by debris?
We last left our
No.
heroes.
She's just got her hag face on.
When we last left our heroes! Esme had quite a little adventure, a night. She did a few things, but it resulted in the discovery of Kaz's body, the death of Tinklefoot. Fucking nailed it. Can't remember. And I don't have my notes open. And the vault of dormant technology being destroyed. The latter causing quite a large explosion, and throwing dearest Esme and Dave through all manner of things, kind of too quick notice where exactly they've landed, sort of thing. But Esme has been reduced to 1 health and is indeed bleeding and in pain. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, and Coda and Isadora and Risbit, who will not be joining us this evening because he's sick, escorted the Darrows to Borea, set them up, had a few chats with some people, and they left for home. As they, look upon Yuria from the hill, one last truck forward, they notice... Oh, they don't notice. They probably hear a large noise, but they don't know where it's coming from.
What I'll say is that as we're coming back into the town, we're back in disguises we left in and presenting, those IDs. And, one of us, I don't know who, tempts fate and says, I wonder how Esme's doing. And then we hear the explosion.
Yeah, I like to imagine that. That's a good rich fiction for this.
Isadora, Coda, an armed guard approaches you and says, papers, please.
And we present the papers we were given.
Why were you out of the city?
We were hired hands for a caravan.
Alright, where's the caravan?
It was their caravan. We left it with them when they arrived at their destination.
So you were to escort them and then you just walked back.
Mm-hmm.
He steps to the side and hands you back. He's like, enjoy your stay.
Thank you, sir.
As you walk past the guards and into the main street, the main entrance of Yuria, you feel the ground quake and you see the plume of fire go into the sky. Esme! Your ears ring, smoke, fire, ash. A smell you know to be like oil, but also some like meaty kind of, that smell you only get when you cut something open. Invade your nostrils, you're coughing, you can hear Dave coughing, and he's like, Esme! As he's like slowly getting up, holding his ribs, blood's coming out of pretty much everywhere. You find yourself pinned to the ground with a spare metal bar that seems to go through your right hip and into the ground.
Esme, calm as ever, just says, David, police are coming and I'm pinned to the ground. We're going to have to try and get ourselves out of this one. But internally, she's just screaming inaudible, it's just, she's not saying words, but she has to say them to get the job done, because that's her whole aesthetic. So she's going to attempt to pull it out of her leg, Darren.
Alright, cool. Strength check, buddy. With advantage, Dave assisting you. Yeah, with some effort and pain, and your vision sways and blurs and goes out of focus. But you pull it out. It's a case of one of those things where it's color, and then when you rip it out, everything goes black and white, except the blood coming out of Dave's mouth, sort of thing.
Esme just says, it's like, let us go from this place, and we will return to my family home and bleed on the divan.
As Dave props you up, you hear a rumbling through the room to your right, and you hear very oddly, as if mechanical, just bork, bork.
Did you say bork, bork?
Bork, bork. you hear a deep metallic bork, and like the rubble moving.
Esme just turns to Dave very quickly. Says, "Dave, in the event of a serious, dangerous situation, would it be at all possible for you to, telekinetically punt us onto a rooftop?"
He looks around and he's like, "It's possible, but it's not ideal in the current state."
Yes, I agree, but also there's some kind of, I hesitate to say dog. And she's just going to turn towards the bork and then make the noise back. Bork.
You guys find yourself in like a blown up building. Like the front of a building has been blown up, and you guys are lying in the road, like red bricks and stuff. There's a nice cloud of fog and smoke and covering you, but you hear the rubble moving, and you hear the bork getting closer. And through the smoke, you see like what looks to be like very large teeth that are quite like flat and wide and metallic and shiny, like through smoke. But these things look like essentially the palm of your hand jutted down, like that's one feet, or like not feet, one tooth. And there's like a big row of these things. They're quite high up on the ground. And Dave's like, Esme?
Yes, Dave.
And he's like, thanks. Esme, can I have a dex save, please?
Yes, you may.
Coda, Izzy, what are you doing?
I guess into the ring asking Esme if she's okay. What's going on, kind of thing.
Esme's going to ignore the ring for the sake of...
Yeah, I reckon.
I'm in a situation that has to do with life or death, and you're asking me stupid questions.
The ground beneath Esme whirls as a telekinetic push sends herself and Dave soaring high into the sky. As Esme reaches the brim of the building, she catches hold, manages to pull herself up. As she does so, she hears like a snarling bump, chomp, as two kind of a metallic metal clamps down behind her, just centimeters from her foot. Dave scurries to pull Esme up as she climbs upwards. Does Esme look down?
Esme just says good, thank you. You did exactly, you thought of what I wanted you to do. We really need to get out of here. And she just quickly surveys her location. It's fuck it, I don't care, let's run away. And she just starts heading in the direction she hopes is towards towards the Nilo house, but she doesn't care. She just keeps running.
Can I have a survival check?
Yeah. She turns to him and was keep up or head to roll or call. Whatever you think will work best here.
Izzy, Coda, what do you do?
I guess I'll head towards the smoke.
Yeah, as we're heading that way, Isidora's going to be not screaming because it's a mindscape, but if she could, she'd be screaming into the ring, just saying, "Tell us where you're going, tell us what happened, you better not be fucking dead, I swear to God. We left the city for a week."
No, she hears all this. She leaves you on red, guys. That's what she's doing.
Cool. Do we know if she's left us on red?
I mean,
a little blue dot.
I mean, you guys would know that either she's dead or she's just simply ignoring you, or has the ring off as a third option. Izzy, Coda, can I have survival checks to navigate the city? Esme, it takes you way longer than you need to, but you find your house, your home.
Esme finds her
what?
home. She does.
Yeah.
She does. Oh, good. Yeah, she does.
Izzy, Coda, you guys traverse the city and eventually arrive in good distance, enough to be what's the word? A concerned citizen. What was that kind of thing? You guys don't sprint into the fire or anything. Well, but there's Hand of Yuria, individuals, police watch officers and such. controlling the crowd, and you can see others like casting what you would know to be the create water spell, and are just like flooding this like fire and trying to put it out. And like they have it relatively under control. It's more just it's gonna take a while, but like a large group is kind of like, oh, nothing to see here, move along. It's like some alchemist freak accident sort of thing. You know how this goes, that sort of thing.
Would we know, I assume from the information we got, that this is one of the locations on our list?
You would have a rough idea, yeah.
I'm gonna ask one of the people in the crowd next to me, like, what happened and what's going on, and more importantly, have they made any arrests?
A small woman is like, oh no, it just blew up. They're saying it was like some sort of major alchemist worked in there, and it's just, mixed the wrong substance, and it set a fire to the surrounding apparatus, and now, well, half the building's gone.
Oh.
But no, as far as I know, it's just a freak accident sort of thing.
No one was hurt.
Not that they told us anyway. I'm only here a few minutes before you.
Oh, well, let's hope they haven't been. And then she'll say to the ring to Dakota, should we, like, check out Rose? Should we go to her house? What do we do? Where do we look for her?
I don't... Which one's closer, actually, Darren?
Yeah, I was about to say.
The Nilo house.
We'll head in that direction.
Yeah, we'll go that way.
You stay out of my house.
No!
Izzy and Cola eventually find the house. As they climb the steps and approach the door, they notice that on the handle is blood.
Isidore is going to, like, unfold the loot and keep it close.
Yeah, I don't take out my gun, but I have my hand on it.
Yeah, cool. As you guys enter inside and look around, you see that the trail of blood leads to the living room. Lying on the covered in blood, not looking the best, with some bandages, in the sense that they're like no longer like fatally bleeding out in quotations for like in terms of like statistics or whatever, is Esme and Dave.
I like to imagine that we're kind of just sitting there looking like Winona Ryder at the end of Heathers. And we're kind of just sitting there together sharing a singular wrecked cigarette. And as I just sees, like, hey, where you been?
Hey, where you been?
I've been working. Go and sit down on the couch or make the tea.
Coda, go make tea.
Alright, I'll make tea.
Isidore will, like, kneel in front of both of them and, like, just cast little healing spells.
Yeah, that's you. Dave was like, thank you.
What you been up to?
She just like on her finger, she counts it off. Like, Kazura is dead. Oh shit! So is the Tinklefoot, and I'm assuming so is Zebek. And there was 2 house fires in the city today, and I caused both of them.
You've been busy. It's amazing. Well done.
Thank you. It was a lot of good teamwork from myself and Dave, and we also have some notes that are probably worth looking at.
Ooh.
And it's pretty good. There's a diary, there's like a notebook. I think something's written in it in like magical ink or something. But I have no proof to say that. I've got all of the documents about what those warehouses should be from Tinklefoot. And yeah, now there's no armaments under that person's house, under Sebek's house. I didn't really take notes there. I just focused on getting in and blowing up the house.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's brilliant.
Esme like slumps down onto Dave's shoulders. It's like, it's been a long day. How was your trip?
It was relaxing, actually. I mean, we got like attacked by a triceratops and boars, and we like blew up a cart, but standard practice, really. Oh, we found a bunch of. We met like a big old guild of monster hunters because all the animals are going wild since the thing with the staircase happened. Or maybe it was the Iron Will. I'm actually not sure what he was talking about now. We met a guy who does prophecies. He was fun. So if we have time, we should check out those people because they seem to have their shit together. But apart from that, yeah, the Darrows are all settled in. They're gonna farm. They're gonna grow pumpkins and shit. I don't know. We're all good.
It's like, that sounds good. That sounds nice. Oh, we're all here. We're not okay. We have to maybe tomorrow when things are less, you know,
Bleedy?
politically unrestful. We need to go back to the Rose house. I left stuff in the Rose house.
Yeah, no, we can go back there.
Coda, where's the tea?
I like come in with a tray of tea.
She's just like, cool.
Dave's like, Esme, you don't need.
Sorry, I didn't answer your messages. I was escaping
Bleeding?
with my life from
No,
a
no,
giant metal dog.
I can see you were
Metal
busy.
dog.
Metal dog?
Potentially a metal dinosaur. I'm not really sure.
That's new.
Yuria, the city of industry.
Oh, hooray.
The God Mecha T-Rex, yes.
Oh my god, we're making Mecha Godzilla.
So you kept yourself busy, yes?
Yes, well, you went on a luxurious trip away.
Yeah, it was
I
real
stayed
nice.
in hell. I stayed in hell and I did some work.
Well, we're
Oh,
back and we can
I was
continue the
also
work.
in Dead Man's Haven. And I was also in the Barrens. And then Rose said no more portally stuff, but Rose will explain it to you.
Oh, okay.
She wouldn't
What
let
were
me
you doing in
through
the
the
bar?
night either.
What were you doing in the Barrens of Deadman's Haven?
The Barren stuff was just Barren stuff was just going to see Kay. He's not there. I have a letter. He's fine. He's working. I think the former sheriff, Harksy boy, he's gone to Borea now to find Kat. So that's pretty much
Probably talking
everyone
to his
in.
daughter.
Yeah. Esme just says like, Esme eyes closed. Just says, "My father never spoke to me, and I'm fine,"
Yes.
and passes over that without comment. But then says, and then I was just picking stuff up in Dead Man's Haven. We'll collect it tomorrow. What did I get the Vern torture info? I can't remember what that was.
Every day here is an hour there.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's not so bad.
We should be fine. Though, if we were to ever get locked in there, it would be what we call very, very bad.
I think it would be bad anyway, considering what it is.
Well, yeah, in general, prison's not great, but it's probably not gonna be great if we disappear for a year or two trying to get her out of there. Here's hoping we don't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody must be tired from their long journeys. You can just pick one of the other rooms, and I think an Esme just like pushes herself up, walks across to the other couch, and just lies down on it. It's like, I'll be here if you need me.
If people are resting the evening, I want to study some of the notes that Esme took.
Oh yeah, she'll dig out the rolls of parchment, and she'll dig out the journal, and she'll just be like, there. Those are the notes. If there's anything
Where did you get the
important,
rolls of parchment again, Neil? Can you refresh my memory?
Tinklefoot.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I'll stay up with Izzy and like help, get through all that stuff.
Yeah, cool. During the night, you notice that the journal is blank. The paper is thin, but a very high quality. It's kind of pearl white. The cover is black leather and cracked. It seems to be very wear and tear, like if someone's used it a lot, but the pages are indeed blank.
I want to detect magic on it.
Yes, the thing lights up like a Christmas tree.
What kind of magic is it?
Divination, illusion, evocation,
Oh.
and transmutation.
Can I dispel those?
As you cast the spell magic, you notice that like nothing leaves the book. It's more like the book itself seems to be like magical in these schools, more so than it's been enchanted to say like repel people or like stop people from reading it, that sort of thing.
Oh.
It's more like the
Like
item
this is
itself.
a magic item rather than an
Yeah,
enchanted
more like
item.
it's a magic item. Yeah, more like the book itself is magic, but it's like fluctuating between these kind of schools, sort of thing. Or there's traces of those schools in the item.
Yeah.
The documents that Esme obtained, they don't outright spell. It's not like it's a case of like our evil plan part 2 and like an evil mustache for everyone to like pick and like stick to their face while they read it, kind of thing, a twirly mustache thing. It's more there seems to be a lot of mining coming in, a lot of gems, a lot of stone. When like it's a case of it's just like, oh yeah, a container containing iron ore, also at the bottom underneath it has lots of interesting things for storage, like weapons and nothing's outright spelled like like experimental thing here, but it's very much just like what they're bringing in is very like weird. Like why would the hand need to hide what they're bringing in, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it seems to be like a lot of mining coming into the city in crates and transports, but not from Dagdom, which people would know to be the main exporter of mining goods.
Yeah.
It doesn't give a location of origin, does it?
No.
What happened?
The book Izzy cast to detect magic. It had several schools of magic on it, not in the sense that it was protected, but more so the book itself, almost like a magic item. Izzy tried to dispel the magic and realized this as well. That was that. The rolls of parchment contain like shipping manifestos and information that's of like, oh, we're bringing in these materials, weapons, this X, Y, and Z, like kind of like weird experimental stuff that you shouldn't need to smuggle in, yet the hand apparently are smuggling in. But it's all coming from like mining, like rock, ore, gems, all that stuff. But it's not coming from Dagdom, which is the main like resource kingdom for that sort of stuff.
Esme's just like, cool. I'm not sure what to make of it, but if it has the information on other warehouses, send it to the boys in the Resistance.
Yeah, it has notes on where it's all stored.
One other thing I want to check. Can I try identify the journal?
Yes. Can you read out exactly what identify does, Amy, again?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I just want to make sure I get it right.
But yeah, so we'll get those documents to the Resistance at some point when we go talk to Ripley. Let's see now.
It'll save them wasting their time attacking fake shipments.
Mm-hmm. Okay, one object that I must touch. If it's a magic item or some other magic imbued object, you learn its properties, how to use them, and whether it requires any attunement to use.
1 second.
such a great spell because it's a ritual, and you just like you never need to use identify as an as a spell slot. Like it's just so handy to have as a ritual. You never need to instantly identify something.
I'm sure there are instances
Oh
where
yeah,
people might have.
probably.
It requires attunement. You're not sure of the charges, and after identify is cast on it, some markings appear on the cover in the language none of you speak. In the sense that like you don't know what it says, and you don't know like, oh, that's dwarven, but I can't read dwarven, that kind of thing. Like it's text you do not recognize, and text sits on it and kind of glows like an ethereal faint blue, and then it just like the title, maybe, who knows, whatever word or sentence this is, like just rotates ever so slightly on like an axis in the center, and like goes full 180, and then like stays there again, equally unreadable, and then just fades away.
It should tell me what it does, though. I think.
Yeah, I think you do.
When you get it, Izzy, and when you identify it, essentially a pop-up shows up in front of Izzy's face that says, in order to read it, true sight.
Oh, great.
It's like when Izzy flicks through it, there's like pages written in this like ethereal ink, maybe, you don't know, but very much screaming true sight all over it.
Do I have true sight? I don't know that I do. Okay.
I think true sight's high enough level.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, the property is that it's a book that's magic. You attune to it, and it's what it does is that it is indeed a bit of magic. There doesn't need to be any like I can cast fireball 6 times a day. There's speak friend, and you pull a sword out of it. It's just a case of it's a magic book, and I can attune to it. And other than that, there doesn't seem to be any listed uses. Bar it is indeed a book.
Okay.
So yeah, if that's all you guys do throughout the night, it's morning. Esme, you're patched up. In terms of stats, like it's a long rest. You're fine. It's just primary, like aesthetically, it's just like you've got like the bandages on your nose kind of thing, and that kind of stuff. You're patched up, but like in terms of game, it's a long rest. So yeah, you guys sit at the kitchen table of the Nilo residence. Where go what?
Let's go to Rose's.
Okay.
And she just like grabs the bag. She's like, bum, 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 bum. It's like, Dave, you can stay here, but my sisters might come, and they probably won't like the fact that you're an alien.
He's just lying on the couch, like he definitely looks like he's hungover, that kind of like, but he's not actually hungover. He's just like, yeah, I don't care. I'll stay here. He kind of rolls over and stuff.
Be careful. Oh, also, the god of murder might come over because he's dating my sister.
Okay. He's just like, okay. So you head to Rose's. The city is in full swing. Market stalls brim with activity. Citizens run to and fro to shops, to meetings, to social gatherings. There's a nice, clean smell in the air. It's very, nice. The sun shines. It's not too windy. It's not too cloudy. Kids play. And you see Thought Police, just doing their rounds, looking over people. Seems to be a relatively calm morning.
Typical
in
Indian day.
Yeah, pretty much like another day in our fine country. But yeah, it's good. Nothing out of the ordinary. It takes you a little while to get to Rose's. Yeah, the streets are busy. Everyone's doing their thing. The Thought Police are like questioning people, but nothing insane. It's more just like they're clearly talking to them and writing stuff down in like their notebooks, that sort of thing. But yes, you eventually arrive at Rose's. The door swings open when you knock, and the sitting room lies as it always does. A small plushie of Rose sits on the couch.
Hi.
Morning.
Esme just sits down and says, "You two go to your room." She just puts her feet up. She crosses her legs.
Sorry, are you talking to us?
Yeah, go to your room. Just go to your
Fuck
room.
off.
No, go to your room.
Care to explain?
Go to your room!
Is there on my
Why?
couch? Fuck you, you know I'm off.
So boring. She just
And
holds her
you're
legs
a fucking
handed.
brat. What do you want? What are you doing?
I just want you to go to your room. But whatever, I'll just wait. And she.
Or you could just
sits.
explain.
I mean, I could, and she proceeds not to.
Cool, Rose, do you know what's going on, or is she just being a dick for no reason?
Yeah, there's something on your beds.
Oh my god, did you like leave us bits of people? Are you a cat now? Oh man.
Well,
And
she's certainly
goes off.
catty.
She goes she goes and then she goes to her room.
I almost regret getting them gifts.
I like Rose rolls her eyes so hard they fall out onto the couch. She tries to pick them up, puts them back in. It's like be that as it is, Esme. It's like for someone who works in the communication industry, you're pretty ropey at it when you want to be.
I mean, I don't want to point fingers here.
No, go for it. Point them right now. Do it. Point them. Do it.
My friends did say that they were going to go and simply speak to someone, and then they disappeared for a week, leaving me to clean up our own mess. But whatever, communication is just one way, isn't it?
You know Bory is a week away. Well,
But they weren't going to Boria when I was told the first time, Rose. Anyway, hi. Hope
Does Coda go to his room?
Yeah. Once Izzy goes, I'll go as well.
In both your rooms, and including Risbits, who's not here, but he'll be told. There is long boxes wrapped in very stereotypical, like white wrapping paper with a red bow. Isadora, on it is a small card that says, "To Izzy, let your own applause sound let your own applause sound loudest, second only to mine for you. Love, Esme."
Fuck, that's sweet. I can't be mad at her.
Coda, yours says, "To Icky, always have a plan B. Love, Esme."
Cryptic, I like it.
Do you?
Yeah, I mean, I assume it's not a bomb. Yeah, I'll open it.
Literally a bomb.
Icarus, you open yours, and along the side you see the same message is embossed into the handle. Before you is a crossbow. Edges, the workmanship is beautiful. It's a gorgeous crossbow. The exit where the bolt would pass through is jagged and like hooked and warped as if claws or teeth, and kind of like a dark steel, like a dark, almost blackish steel there. You see like veins of red, almost like if an actual vein pulses through them. But yes, the crossbow seems magical at first glance. Isadora.
Yeah.
Before you are is a pair of gloves, about elbow to shoulder, depending on how long your arms are, kind of thing. Hi, they're like layered like material. It kind of looks sort of metalish. You're not too sure if it's metal or some sort of weird compound, but it's the gloves look studded on the knuckles. So like if you were to boop someone, it'd probably hurt a little bit more. Maybe, you don't know. But the like layers kind of seem to be like jutting out towards you, as if they would be exhausts to something.
Okay.
Again, equally, it kind of like pulses with like this sort of like veiny magic going through it. This like kind of pale lavender light, like just kind of flickers every so often. You get the you get the idea. Looking at it as magical, and it probably requires attunement for both of them.
Sorry, it has exhaust pipes.
Yeah, like really flat ones, kind of like layered. Yeah, that's the message that's about the type. But there you go. But yeah, they look like they have like these kind of like really thin, flat, like it's kind of like was a scale mail that kind of like struts of like
Yeah.
hard material, but the very very end ones kind of have these tiny pipes that come up kind of like frills almost.
Okay. I would like to identify them. I'd like to spend a few minutes identifying them.
Alright, cool, yeah. Yes, right. So identify requires 100 gold worth of a pearl. So just going forward, you'll need to buy pearls, kind of thing. You know, like certain spells need like. Oh, no, it's good. It's good. Like,
it doesn't consume the pearl, does it?
No, I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Like I've been using.
It might not. Yeah, no, it's cool.
Like I went to acquire one deliberately to use it. Let me check.
I don't think it doesn't say it consumes. I think you just have one in your possession.
Usually it states it that it does, but like it like if it consumes it, it will say it.
Yeah, I don't think Identify does because I never used to spend 100 each time, and I know I had components for Identify before.
Hold on, I will compare to this one second. Revivify uses yes, okay, so Identify you just need it in your inventory as part of the ritual, but the likes of Revivify needs diamonds worth 100 TP,
which consumes, yeah.
So okay. This isn't stated, so my apologies going on. That's cool. No, my apologies. It's probably been a while since we got the pearl, so that's all cool. Good note. No worries. You cast Identify. Izzy, you know that if you have these equipped and you're attuned with them, that if you clap your hands together as an action, you do 2d8 force damage in a cone, 15 feet. But if it's towards like a structure, be it like stone or metal, the damage is tripled.
Shit.
That's so cool.
So that's 2d8 force?
2d8 or 6d8 if it's against like a stone wall or like a metal wall, that kind of thing.
That is sick.
That's really cool.
I can't identify, so I'll just go downstairs to Esme.
So essentially, I'm going to just like speed it along in a sense that it's explained to Coda what his crossbow is. Coda, your crossbow is a bleeding-infused crossbow.
Nice.
Bolts you fire from it like do regular damage in the sense that it's a standard light crossbow, that's fine. But the enemy must make a DC save, which is 8 plus efficiency plus your dex. And they have to make a Constitution save against that number. And if they fail it, they begin to bleed, and they take 1d6 at the start of every round, and they can repeat it. The only thing is that it's essentially like it's enchanting like the exit where the bolt will pass through. So like as the bolt fires through, it like puts this property on it. The trade-off is that you can't recover any ammunition fired by this crossbow.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's rad.
Because the idea is that like if it hits. When it hits, be it their armor and it splinters off as if like don't roll high enough, or if it enters them, it's meant to shatter and split and cause bleeding. Kind of like I'm not sure if they're based on a real thing, but it reminds me of the hollowed out tree corner arrows in the first Witcher game that like the Scoia'tael assassins use. It's like they literally only shoot it once, and when it goes in, it like ruptures and it doesn't pierce far. It completely like chews up the inside, you bleed out. So that's the same kind of like idea that like. As these bolts pass through, it's purely just designed to maim and like bleed out, sort of thing.
That is so cool.
Yeah, like, Esme now has what? Oh right, yeah.
Esme just has super cool arrows that she stole.
Oh yes, you do. Yeah, it's, the arrows are essentially that as well, Neil. That they kind of splinter and cause bleed damage. You have 10 of them, so it's a DC, which is 8 plus proficiency plus your dex, and then they make a con save a D6 per round, and so on.
Cute, but Esme's just like that was kind of not that I wasn't happy to come and visit Rose, but that was kind of the main reason I left them here. I thought that I could come back here later, and then things blew up, so it was just a lot to deal with.
Things literally blew up.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is very generous.
She not bows her head. It's like anytime.
What's the occasion?
Oh, I said it to. I I said it to Zadora already.
Oh, sorry.
We had those
But it was
relics
making
from the
more
Red
tea.
Forest, and yeah, we had those relics from the Red Forest, and then we didn't have like either the time or the interest to do anything with them immediately after. But Esme was still aware of them, and she was like, "Cool, I'm going to use these." There was only 3, so she used them for everyone else because that made more sense. And yeah, she like she throws it out there. It's like, it was fine. I had to go to the Shadowfell. Came back. It's all good. There you go.
Slow down.
I went to the Shadowfell to get your stuff made. Rook brought me. It was good. I met a delightful crafter of fine goods. I cannot remember anything about them because it was months ago at this stage.
It was to be exact, it was the 26th of November because the
Wow.
screenshot I have, the screenshots of the notes I have is the 11th, 26th, the 11th. But yes, the individual referred to themselves as Smith. They work the smithery. There's always been a smith, and when they leave and pass on, there will be a new smith. They kind of look drow in skin tone and kind of facial features, but a lot of their like actual face, like their eyes and stuff, was hidden because of like rags and robes and these like really rich embroidered and like very like fine detailed just basically robes and laces and like kind of like just layers adorn their body. But like it was a case of like their arms were free, so it was like, you know, they had like the typical kind of charcoaly, that kind of matte drow skin tone with like kind of like grey freckles on their shoulder kind of thing, and they had big arms. You know, they're a smith. They got to swing that hammer. They know what's up. But yeah, they spoke with Esme and Rook, and you know, there was a what's the word, like a agreement was made, and so the items are before you.
She's like, yeah, it was a good time, and I'm pretty
Okay,
sure
glad to see you didn't get murdered in the Shadowfell. And, like,
it was only like a
telling
little
about
part of the Shadowfell. It was like we walked through a door, and then we walked into the door of the smithery in the Shadowfell. So I was there, but I didn't like look around. I didn't see anything. It was like I saw the smithery. That was it.
I need to stop being surprised at the shit you do.
Hey, it was well intentioned, and I also at
And
the
well
time did not
received.
realize. Look, what happened was I went back and I spoke to Rook, and then he was like, "Cool, let's go." And then I was just like, "Hey, that's a portal," and he said, "Yeah, we're going to the Shadowfell." And I thought it was rude to turn back then, so I just continued on forward.
Brooke.
I trusted that it was going to go well, and in the end, it did. So it's fine.
Well, yes, the gift is still very much appreciated. Would have liked it, know that, you were in
We
the
can go
Shadowfell.
back some other time. It's not a big deal. Look, Rizba can fly, and I just feel like Esme's like holding her hands at like a floating Rizbit.
Yeah.
Rizvi can fly?
Look at him!
Esme made him boots that like cast levitate.
Clicks his heels together and floats.
Rizvi can fly. Yeah. I'm not surprised.
It was
It's
literally
fine.
just.
The ground could not
It was-
contain him.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I was just like, oh yeah, I remember a paladin once complaining about flying. I mean, it's just like, what if through my actions I could give a paladin the ability to fly briefly? It's like, good.
That's next level petty. I love it.
I'll tell you about next level petty. Esme
Not the
like, cool.
time or place, Neil.
I know. And then she says, cool, is there anything else you guys want to do? Because I feel like we need to get out of here soon. Let's just. You said you wanted to go and find some person for one of your Warforged friends. One of the ones we took, was it Doc? No, it was the other one, Lawrence. You wanted to go and find someone to help Lawrence? We should do that.
Oh, well, I mean, that was he spoke to Kona about that more than me. That's out of the city.
I feel like time has come to wrap up some business here and head to do some other work for a little. This place is getting, and she laughs at her own joke. It's like, things are getting a bit hot around here these days. So, if
No,
there's
I
anything
think you're
else you
right.
guys want to do,
No, I agree. I
we
think
might.
we've gotten quite a lot done since we came back here, and if we do any more, we might run the risk of being, you know, caught and tortured and murdered. So.
We
Yeah,
should.
I feel like the answer to this is going and actually fighting Mother and her gang, and I feel like we're probably not strong enough to take
We're
on
not
Mother and her
ready to
gang.
do that.
Like
But
maybe later.
yeah, maybe we'll do it. We'll do it this afternoon. We should get these notes you took from Tinklefoot to the Resistance, and I want to talk to Ripley about a couple other things if we get the chance.
Well, let's go and do that. And she points
okay.
she points at Rizbit and says, "Is there anything you want to do?" And he just is flying, so that's fine. And then she points at Coda. What about you?
Not much really. I need to talk to my brother briefly, but there's nothing really big I have left to do. So we'll wrap up a few loose ends, and then it's probably time to go.
Esme like stands up and stretches and walks towards the door. So like, cool. The only thing I need to do is, destroy a nest of highly trained or not assassins, as highly trained urban bounty hunters empowered by an evil god or whatever. So we can do that We can do that after lunch.
Okay, so
And
just talk to Ripley, talk to my brother, kill an entire cell of bounty hunter. Yep, God, Yep, all right, let's go. Let's do it.
Cool.
Well, yeah, she does the wavy hand. It's like God. Anyway, Rose, I'm sure we'll come back to say bye, but if we don't get the chance, talk soon, stay safe, love you.
Yeah, Esme talks about the portal thing, that's probably the best decision for now. We're going to work on keeping the heat off you, so just look after yourself.
She's like, yeah, it's cool. Like, it's nice if it's just generating a bit too much heat. We're just gonna let the little device cool down, and we'll be back in working order soonish, I hope. But yeah, no, you can take care of yourselves. I'll be good. I'm fine for the most part, but yeah, you guys take care, and I'll see you when I see you.
Definitely.
Yes, and if you need anything, get word to us. We'll help.
Oh, don't worry. I'll be good. Waves back in. What?
She's just like
she's leaving.
She's outside. And
okay, yeah.
Like, bye.
Right, so Ripley first.
Yeah.
Yes. So we don't do we have a method of contacting them?
Essentially, you would know that if you want to meet them again, you're gonna have to go back to Wrenches and Wenches, that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was just asking if
it's a case.
I assume we don't.
It's fine. No, it's a case of it'll only be a sentence on the table, but in game, it's several hours of travel.
Yeah.
You guys make your way to the slums again. The city is in robust. It seems to be generally just a hashtag good day for the city. Even the slums look a little bit brighter. The dirt looks a little bit brighter today. It's nice, up and coming morning, guys. But you guys go to the Wrench and Wenches. You say the code to get in. Grand, you dress the barkeep. The barkeep through a series of so you want the special drink?
No, we don't want to be poisoned again.
Yeah, case of I know what you mean, but it takes several hours. You guys are essentially black bagged again, and you feel yourself walking, and just at some point there's definitely water in your shoes, and it takes a long while. I'm gonna say it's about maybe 2 hours in total, but the light hits your eyes and it's kind of piercing as the black bag is ripped up, and you find yourself in the hallway that leads to this little kind of conference room area gathering thing where the Resistance last were when you spoke.
So it's that big place where
essentially the bags are ripped off and the doors in front of you, and the two big lurching warforged security guards kind of just nod to the people who've escorted you and open the door and kind of usher you inside and close behind you.
Before we go in, Isidore's going to turn to us and says, "Are you going to freak out again? Don't freak out again."
I just like to imagine that she didn't say that, but that's what she's thinking. No, she's like, I'm sure it will be far less terrifying to realize than to notice the reality of the situation now.
Cool.
We've also blown up some stuff. I feel like I've got my sister.
Sure have. Aren't you? Isn't that good for you? Okay, she walks in.
Yeah, the building, or the room, sorry, is in full swing. People are talking to stones of far speech. People are marking maps. People are it's buzzing. It's a hive of activity. As you walk through, you see the familiar face of Bulkhead Bill, who waves you over, sort of thing.
Hi.
Like, what brings you, lovely people, here?
We need to talk to Ripley if she's available. We've got good news and bad news and medium news.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, she's grilling Phalor at the minute.
Oh, I thought you talked to Phalor.
It's like, oh well, he's in the middle of getting like yelled at, so like give it 5 minutes and we'll all be in the same room.
How did his blowing up of the bakeries go?
I mean, it went so well. He's getting yelled at, so he must have done it pretty well.
Oh.
It's good to see you back on your feet.
It's like, oh yeah, happens with this job, and it's happened plenty of times, and it'll probably happen plenty more times. Good to see you all, not dead after the rounds of explosions that are making the city go, a bit crazy.
Esme raises her hand, just being like, "That was me."
If you're looking, do you ask Bill if Carl's around?
I'm not that committed to doing it. It's more just like Esme will do
I'll
a
ask
sweep
Bill
of
if
the room.
Carla's around.
It's just it's not a major thing. It's literally just like, if she's there, I'll pass her a quick note. And
between the two of you, essentially, Bill's like, "Oh, Carl's around. Hold on," and he walks down into one of the rooms, and you just hear him he's like, "Oh, hey," and he kind of leans through the door, and you can hear him hush toning. And he reappears, and Carla's kind of holding a book in her hand, kind of peeps through, and she's like, "Oh, hey," and puts a hand up and waves as she walks forward, and she's like, "What can I do you for?"
It's good to meet you again, finally, after being drugged and involved in a bunch of espionage.
I mean, hey, welcome to the party, buddy.
What's your role in all this?
Oh, double agent, triple agent, quadruple agent, whatever the day brings me, making sure documents get lost, making sure documents get found, making sure names get dropped, names get, erased, pushing certain people into certain people's, coffee boys instigating, just general, sabotage. I'm praising, and she clutches her holy symbol around her neck, and she's like, and the occasional prayer, and she squeezes it a bit.
Right.
It's like a squeaky toy.
It's like, yeah, I hear you guys are regular old firebugs now.
It's my laugh.
I mean, that's not the direction we were aiming for. It just kind of fell into
it. Most of us usually do kind of fall into these professions. But I'm glad our faith in you paid off, and hopefully your faith in us has paid off, and it's a little bit better.
I'm just glad we're on the same side. I've seen what your prayers can do.
She's like, yeah, me. Everyone needs a hobby.
Speaking of hobbies, Carla.
Shoot.
You know that husband verse?
She winces at the title husband. Was like, yes, I do.
You know that dwarf you're seeing?
I know of him.
I've had this idea, and we don't need to talk too much about it right now. I'm just going to float it your way. Remember the big guns from Mishaelen?
She nods.
Do you know where they would be kind of super useful, in my opinion?
Eyebrow raised. Oh, Dagdom.
So if I remember correctly, Dagdom is a mountain city, and to get to a mountain, they'll have to fly the giant ship. But if we were to somehow bankroll enough of those guns, we could fire on the ship. I just think it's something that might be useful at some point in time, and I'm gonna hopefully do some work to get get our contacts shored up like them. And if he ever finds his way out there, he could let us know, because that sounds like probably something very useful to us at some point.
Like, it's going, and she's like, all right, I'll talk to Az about that. How that goes, I don't know. But how about this? You work on getting your contact, kind of hitched up to our lines, so to speak. And when that's good, I'd imagine that's not going to be an overnight thing. You strike me as good, but not that good, no offense. But by the time you get that done, I'll probably have chatted out with Azaran to a degree, and we can go from there. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, she says, I just wanted to float a strategic opportunity
that's an
your
excellent
way.
idea. We need to consider it. We haven't really done anything towards Dagdom, so to speak, yet. I know there's those, crows guys that, are popping up a bit, but, bridges that far wide or that distance require some time, but, we'll get there. But yeah, you set your thing up, get in contact with us again regarding that specifically, and, I'll put it forward. It's a good plan. I really like it. I genuinely like it. Azran's a bit of a hard ass. I'll talk to Ripley. It's cool. You do you, I'll do me, and we'll meet in the middle somewhere down the line.
She is like, she is satisfied. She is satisfied. She has done what she wanted to do in terms of the Carla side, where it's just like, I said the thing I needed to say to her, and there are wheels in motion. She bells.
Cool. Does anybody have anything else they wish to say to Carla?
No.
No.
OMG, I love your work.
Not right now.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, she's just like, look, it was great checking in, talking to you guys again. I gotta get back, no rest for the wicked sort of thing. She shakes everyone's hands kind of thing, and she's like, we'll be in touch. You guys do the Dagdom thing, and we'll go from there. Cool?
Cool.
Yeah, and as she, turns on her heel to, hey, and, kind of disappears, just as she enters her door, you see Ripley's door kicks open. She's like, get out of my sight. And you see, Phalor kind of, walking. He just walks out and, walks to the right, but basically, if anyone has a perception over 10, can see that he's grinning, kind of under, he's trying to keep
of course
on the DL, but he got the biggest shitting grin. And you see Ripley kind of walks out, and she's fixing her shirt, and she's like, "What? Who's next? What?" And she looks really flustered and stuff, and she's like, "Yeah." And then Bill kind of waves, and in the same motion of waving, points to the you guys. And she's gestures all right, come on in, and it re-enters her office kind of thing.
As we're going into her office, Isidore will lean over and whisper to Phalor, someone's in trouble.
And he's just like, oh, I hope so. She's just the best when she's angry. And he smiles.
We'll talk to him later.
You guys are ushered into the office of Ripley. She sits. She gestures for you to sit. Hey, Esme. Yes. Oh yeah, 100%. They have a tape recording of Ripley arguing, and it's literally the it's the fucking robot chicken Boba Fett and Han Solo scene where she's like, "Duh, you dirty little smuggler, soft pillowy lips," and all this. Yeah, they were indeed burning rubber.
Well, that's all
Why?
But yes, Ripley's like, "What can I do for you? You did great work. Thank you for encouraging Phalor. But refrain from doing it again, maybe."
What happened? What did he do?
Oh, he did his job like he always does perfectly well. It's just, it was a case of destroy some of the targets, don't over risk it. So it's like, no, I'll just destroy all of them. And it kind of
were
just,
they the right targets?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. He building debris and hand scum littered the area kind of thing. Flew through the air. But it's more a case of they really kicked up the hornet's nest, as I'm assuming you all know. So it's just a case of hey, ho ho. Yeah.
Well, this time it seems to have gone all right. maybe shouldn't make a habit of it, but it seems to have gone alright this time. That's what I was picturing!
But I suppose it's brought the heat down a bit, but in the confusion, we, and particularly Esme, were able to take care of a lot of business.
Oh, yeah, no, I heard about the explosion last night. That was intense. We felt it down here. The pipes rattled. It was... What exactly happened?
We found out about a weapons cache hidden under the city being kept by a sleeper agent. So myself and an associate snuck in, stole the keys, opened up all of the locks, went down. They had these big suits of armor, and really cool arrows. She actually produces one of the arrows. It's like they look like this. I could only grab it.
I like to think Esme's like, they look like this, and her hand slowly goes out, and Esme in a flourish is like, yeah, so anyway, just puts it away. She's like, okay.
No, she holds it out. I imagine it floats like a quest item out of her hand. Which she's like, there was swords, there was all of this kind of stuff, and she holds a bag of holding. It's like, this wasn't big enough to store all of it, so I blew it up. And it exploded a lot bigger than I thought it would. But it's gone now, and so is the sleeper agent. It's fine.
She's like, oh, cool. Yeah, that's... Yeah, wow, okay. That's... And we can have the documents that you were talking about?
Yes.
I'm assuming you wouldn't bring them up if you weren't kind of, pushing them over.
Izzy, give her the documents.
She sorts through the case file and she gives her the documents.
Yeah, she takes a couple of minutes in silence to kind of flick through them and be like, okay, this is really good. Like, this is going to give me a serious foothold. Like, thank you. Are you looking to lead any more kind of skirmishes on these locations, or what's your thinking?
Not on those locations. Well, let's see. In regards to, she's sort of running down the list, telling her what happened. So she tells her what Esme told her about Kazura, and we tell her, I assume, about the clerics and
yeah, give her a rundown of every one on the list, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like pretty much the two that strike her the most. She's like, the others are kind of wow, weird technology. I'm glad it's been destroyed. You got these documents. Thank you. I was like, Kaz is dead. Wow. Well, he was good when we worked with him, and he betrayed us. But it wasn't us that killed him. So you can have my word on that. So
he's been dead a while though. So I feel like. It might not have been him who betrayed you. It might have been someone who was disguised as him. That's speculation. I have no proof to that. But he was also definitely working. There was hand documents in the location. But now he's dead, and his house is also burned up.
Well, I suppose no evidence is best evidence. And what was the other one? Yeah, that's what I was bringing on back. It's like Tharzadun clerics. It's like, never known the hand to work with them. This must be something new. In all our time, fighting them, we've never really kind of had blatant religious, soldiers. I want to call them. But yeah, no, we've never encountered anything like that before. So this must be new. Brilliant. She starts making notes.
They seem to be based out in Clearhaven.
She rolls her head and she's like, never been. That's kind of southwards, isn't it? I think. I don't know. I don't really get out of the city much. But if you want any information, if you end up going there, or if you are going there, I don't know what you're doing. But if you do, any information you find on that, how it links back, or if it's just a case of they're hiring out cults now, which is just, I mean, it's not unheard of. But any information regarding it would be great, because if you just don't want, I can send a scout out there and see what happens.
No, we'll go that way at some point. We'll beat up some more clerics.
We have a few things
Yeah,
to
she
deal with
nods.
out
She's like,
south.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, like I know, like cities and regimes aren't toppled in a day, so one step at a time.
There's a couple more things, and these are just things that we've heard, but it might be a good idea to keep like an ear out for them. Like they're trying to implement new methods of detection. We hear rumors of them building like magic sensors to apply onto like buildings. There's like research bases hidden. They're included in Tinklefoot's notes. Also, out of character, just looking at the Trello board, there's something on the points of interest list that says new weapons being produced and shipped into Yuria, the Glaive, etc. What's that referring
The
to?
dude who was, remember when we destroyed the shipment that was supposed to fuel the Iron Will? There was a guy with like that weird magical glaive, and when we examined it like briefly, we got the impression that was like new tech or new magic, wasn't it? Like something we
Yeah, it
hadn't
seemed
seen
to slice
before.
through something metal or
I assume that is
mechanized
the
at
same
pretty-
place though as like wherever they're building the like
Yeah,
stuff for the
yeah.
like it's probably the same stuff. I just wrote it down, but like we can merge that with probably the same place where they're doing their like out of city research for the Iron Will anyway. But I just had it down.
But yeah, no, we'll tell her points of interest like that to like keep an eye on.
Yeah, like Ripley's like, well, if they have an off-site research facility, we're gonna have to. That's gonna be a big one. I'll set some of my best spies on it and see what they dig up.
If we can deal with that, we might stop them permanently from fueling their Iron Will. So
For sure, yeah, that would be a serious.
At least set them back quite a bit. But kind of the reason we're telling you this is we have a couple of things to take care of, and then we're going to be leaving the city for a while. And some of the stuff to do, I mean, going to take us out of the country, so we might not be here for a while.
She nods and she's like, well, I know you believe in our cause, so I'm just gonna okay. I know you believe in our cause, and if you need to like take some time out to do whatever you need to do, you don't have to like disclose it if you don't want to.
I know, but I just thought I'd give you a heads up because
oh yeah, she's like, no,
if you need us, like you can try get in touch with us, but we might not be available. That's all.
She nods and she's like, I understand, but I appreciate like you being like forthcoming with that. Don't worry, we'll be safe, we'll be smart. Especially now we've struck a really solid blow to their, the Urian. The Urian war machine. So, no, we did good, and we're just going to play it safe for a while. We'll need to gather some information. This research facility is, worrying. These sensors, we've got plenty to keep us covered.
if you do need aid or points of contact, we do have allies in other cities, so there are ways.
Like, out of character, Bulkhead Bill was one of the Baron's contacts initially.
Yeah,
right?
like, I mean, we linked
so
up,
they
yeah.
were in touch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a case of like they're in touch, and it's how can we make this work because the distance is so big, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like, if they can get in contact with the Baron, like he's kind of the point of reference for like Ozymandias and Deadman's Haven and the Dagenham Crows as well. So like they do have like points of communication out to other people as well. So there are ways of them keeping in touch with other allies.
For sure.
Like out of character, when we leave the city, I think like the Baron should be our first protocol just to pass through.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Anyway, so we can mention that to him.
Mm.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, it's a case of like Ripley's like anything else to add, that kind of thing.
I mean, just yourself, stay safe, stay smart, that kind of thing. If we're gonna try find these cubes, and we'll let you know if we do.
Like her expression grows serious, but she nods and she's like, I understand and thank you for your efforts in that regard. Yeah, she stands and kind of shakes your hand in a case of like, go get him.
Oh, we've been dismissed.
It's a case of like if people want to say anything else, they can, but if not, it's a case of you are.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
You exit Ripley's office, the door closes, and Phalor slides up the stage. Where are we blowing up next?
Well, that depends. What happened when you blew up what you just blew up?
Oh, you know. Got yelled at a little kiss, it was nice. But yeah, overheard just talking. Documents, names, locations.
You were waiting at the door, were you?
Someone's got to do it. You know, spies never think of other spies spying on them, so it's fun, you know, keeps them on their toes.
Well, I'm sure you'll be kept busy. We've handed off a few leads to Ripley.
Oh my. That sounds good. Yeah, no, we'll be. Yeah. I understand these are leaving the city then. Soonish.
You really were wigging in. Yeah.
It's like, well, till next time. You know, goes to shake your hands.
Maybe it's a stupid request, but try to stay safe.
It's like, oh, you know me. I'm always safe. Living. Looks you too. Yeah. Does like kind of like a very overdramatic, like, you know, like bow, like hand by over the heart, kind of like one arm out really wide, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I love him.
He's so charming.
But yeah, it's a case of if you guys want to, like, you know, depart, you guys are like go through the motions.
Yeah, and like I just want to like say goodbye to Bill as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like yeah, Bill's like, oh, yeah, go get him, Tiger. We'll see you in a while. I'll be in contact with the others. It's just, you know, distance is a pain. The current, you know, eyes are kind of like a bit more on alert, so we're just kind of like we're playing it safe. And this, you know, you don't want to be hasty in these situations, but we're building contacts, we're building bridges, building ladders. We'll get there.
Okay.
Esme blows a kiss as she leaves.
Yeah, like I'll wish people well and good luck and that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like they're all like shaking hands and like, you know, you know, be safe, be smart. It's kind of like everyone's kind of like in the, you know, don't be silly kind of thing. But yeah, no, it takes a while. You get through people, you shake hands, you say your farewells kind of thing, and like, you know, till next time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you guys are essentially led back, and it takes some while again, and you guys find yourself in the slums. Specifically the wrenches and wenches, if there is specifically anything you want to do, but you're just kind of in the slum area at the moment.
Okay, where's this theater?
Do we not need to go and find Coda's brother?
Oh, we do need to find Coda's brother.
We should do that first.
We can do that. I can do that in my own time if you want.
I mean, what I'm gonna say to you
look
is,
at it this way.
I think when we should wait till dark or we launch assault on a building.
Fair.
And two, when we launch another assault on another building filled with people who are also probably capable of killing us, we're probably gonna want to leave immediately after.
Yeah.
So you go talk to Kit. We also need to get smoke bombs.
Oh, and we also need to give them the permits back.
Yes, I can take care of that. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Okay.
Where do we get smoke bombs?
Where do we get smoke?
How long do we have before
Coda, where do we get smoke bombs? We have loads of time, Coda.
No, I'm like out of character. I'm just thinking because like I could probably build smoke bombs. I'm just thinking like I'd probably take a while. I don't know how long. Like,
if you go to Kit now and spend the rest of the day working on them, you can roll to produce a smoke bomb. Yes.
how many do you need?
I think 1 each would be good.
Oh darn! I also have to do the rolls for the thing I was doing on the road as well.
Yep.
So I'll kind of say like I could make smoke bombs. It would probably take a few days to get enough.
I mean,
How
we don't
urgent
have
is
to
this?
do it tonight. If anything, it probably makes more sense to not do it tonight.
Wait till the
So
heat's
that
off
we
a
can
little.
actually
And
let
you can
things
actually
ease
tell
off.
us the plan for approaching this thing.
I would like to not be in a panic for once. That would be
I'm
nice.
gonna say you guys are if it chooses to disclose the information. You guys are walking, talking telepathically, but you're going towards Kit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine. She's like, yeah, I'll explain. We're gonna stay in the Nilo house. I'll explain when we get there. After we do this stuff. Let's go to the guild. Let's go and see the guild. Let's go to the Hand of Yuria offices. And Esme like claps her hands.
Out of
together and
character, I
claps
assumed
her
I would do
hands.
this like at the house, not at the guild.
What, are you bringing your brother to my house?
No, to my
the Darrow house.
Oh, are we going to? I thought. Why did I think that burned down?
No.
It was
burned down so
originally
many buildings, it's hard
Alexander
to keep
originally
track.
threw it out there to burn it out. To make it look
Okay,
like
I feel like Alexander had the right idea. Let's go to the Darrow house then.
Yeah, you guys, take your time. You go to the house. You enter the shop. Again, the familiar, like, we're closed. But, Coda has a key to get into his house, that sort of thing. Gets in, and, like, as you travel on the back, you just see, like, Kit's just kind of, like, in the kitchen, paperwork everywhere kind of thing. Kind of got, like, a mug of, like, a pot of coffee or tea, whichever. There's a kettle, anyway, beside him, or a pot.
It's boiled vodka.
Oh, yeah. It's just like the biggest fishbowl.
It's just absinthe.
Esme thinks boiled vodka.
But yes, Kit looks up and he's like, "Oh, Icarus, I assumed it was you. I'm assuming if you have returned, your plan went off without a hitch."
Yes, completely perfect, no issues whatsoever. And I hand him the permit. I'm kind of into the ring, like, nobody tell him about the dinosaurs.
I heard there was dinosaurs.
No.
There were dinosaurs.
No, there weren't.
Sure.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, there were 3 and they were huge.
No, there weren't. It was everything was fine.
But
everything was fine, but there were dinosaurs.
a wave of a hand and the flick of the wrist. It's like Kit just produces like a cigarette and he's like, continue. He puts it in his mouth and just like lights it off the stove kind of thing. He's like, yeah.
Esme fully says, I wasn't there because I was in the city not committing any crimes that anyone can prove that I committed.
He's just like flicks the cigarette a bit and he's like, we're just gonna stop. We're gonna stop.
Esme makes uncomfortable amounts of eye contact at all times.
Dinosaurs aside, it all went as planned. Everything's fine.
They are safe.
They are safe. They have a home, they have jobs, they're fine. Everything's fine.
Fantastic.
Here are the permits.
Don't tell me any more.
I won't.
The permits, hand them over.
Yeah, I handed the permits.
He's like, okay, so the official story, which will probably break very soon, and I'll have to put on my best tear face, is that the 3 of the individuals here, and he like holds up the permits, he's like, went with my parents on a escort mission. The parents will be found dead, but the people are back in the city. No doubt they will be under questioning. I'm going to deal with that fallout because, oh boy, that was a major hiccup in the plan. But it's fine. It shouldn't be too much. I can make the paperwork disappear pretty quick if I'm fast. I'm going to run over to the offices after I finish this. And he just gestures to the paperwork. And it's just like legal crap with the house. But yeah, I might have to age this actually to make it like we've been. No, never mind. And he sits back down and he's like, yeah, no, I'll deal with this little mini fire. And he waves the permits and he's like, gestures to the party to essentially like if they're sitting to sit or they're standing to sit and like kind of like offers them tea kind of thing. Like what else? And like he flicks the cigarette into like, I'm gonna say like just like.
And what's your plan in the long term? Because you are now complicit in, well, just crimes, just general crimes. This can't. With them searching everyone, this can't go on forever. Rank's not going to stop them.
Oh, dear brother, I assure you, the amount of things I have done in the past few months that would be considered crimes and could probably get me incarcerated or worse, this is just one more notch belt. It'll be no issue. The game is to be played and to be smart about it, to keep my head down. I'm just, a simple officer of the law. Follow the law, follow the orders within reason, as one does, and just be smart and like kind of pick my battles, but all I have to do is be, oh god, no, or who knows, I could always go the stoic, like, well, they were traitors anyway, but who knows, I'll deal with the theatrics of this when they arise, but for the moment we have a moment's peace, a day or two with the 2 most, the news breaks and the air quotes. But I'll make the go away, I'll, grease the right palms. Nothing different, nothing new.
But it is getting worse and worse, and they have people who can detect your crimes before you even commit them. So, do you have a long-term plan for this?
Yeah, you see, I was thinking about that the other night because I was out late walking the beat. If they send someone to your house and tells you did a crime, chances are you got caught, so I suppose my only
I can
choice
give
is
you
not
a
to get caught.
disguise to make you look like a sick hag if you like.
No, but thank you.
Disguises are 90% of how to get away with crimes. Not that I would know, because I'm
Unless
a
they're probing
law-abiding
your
citizen.
brain, though.
I
Disguise will help
mean,
when they can read thoughts.
no one's going to read thoughts. And he waves his hand. He's like, I've been doing this quite some time. I assure you, I am a capable individual. It's fine. I won't overstep my mark. I'll play it safe like I always do. I always get the paperwork in ahead of the others, and the wrong paperwork faster than that. And, make the right channels. Weaving. It's fine. It's like fishing.
Are you certain you can fly under the radar, considering they probably know what you are to me, and they must know something of what I am?
Say that again, Laura.
I phrased it badly, but basically, are you not gonna stick out like a sore thumb because of our, being family of me, and they know, I'm, been invited to the dinner, and, I'm a big deal and stuff kind of thing?
You're a big deal to those that care about you, but no offense, brother, but literally all the people I work for and all the grunts, we don't give a fuck. Your presence, regardless of how high they hold you, does not interfere nor matter to our work. It's a case of you're important to the people who are clearly trying to keep you on a short leash or keep you in the spotlight, but as for the people in my department that handle when firebombs start going off, or a particularly large group of bandits and air quotes, or resistance members and air quotes, start brandishing a lot of swords and taking hostages, then I'm called in. My department don't really care if you're the hero of Erythor, which is a fantastic title. I'm well done, but we're just grunts down in the trenches.
Yeah.
It's just a case of it's to the higher ups, yes, and until you do something
Yes,
that
but
would
are they not
warrant
the ones you need to be worrying about? Mother? Those sort of...
I don't really interact with her that much. I haven't been chosen to do anything. I'm not one of her lackeys that kisses her drawings. So until that day, I'm just gonna do what I always do, which is confuse and bob and weave.
I mean, you can do as you always do, but things aren't as they always have been. They've declared a state of emergency. They're going to be more prudent about this kind of thing. You can't fly under the radar forever.
Oh, I know. I can, aware. I know Esme raises her hand. Yeah, he is like, I'll get to you in a second. And escape plans are limited, but
They're only going to get more limited the more you sit on your ass.
So what would you have me do then, Miss Tanner? You're in my exact situation. You're in my shoes, where every move you make is watched, and if you want to survive, you have to keep what I'm doing, which is, the paperwork, the right people, saying the right things, that sort of thing, which has kept me alive this entire time. So, and there's no leaving the guild, there's no leaving the watch, the team. You don't walk out. Parents die on the road in a horrible raid attack or animal attack, whatever the hell the story you guys have now spun will be. It's like, oh yeah, that's great. Take 5, have a cry in the back room, then go back to work. The luxury of oh, maybe I should try run away on Monday doesn't apply to me. I'm doing the best that I can with the very limited resources I have. But if you all seem to, have an idea of how I can just walk out the front door, by all means, say it now or forever hold your peace.
Your parents are dead. You take a sabbatical, you get out of the city, you disappear.
I can put in a request. If it's approved, it's approved. If it's denied, I simply must suck it up.
At least you would have tried.
And he points at Esme, and he's like, yes.
I appreciate that we're having we're talking about your life or death right now. but it's a different
But now
question.
it's time to talk about Esme.
No, I can hold it. I can hold it for another few minutes if
No, just. It's been addressed. Keep going.
Okay.
Let's
So you were saying that
take on.
you don't really have to operate much in relation to mother. You ever have to operate in relation to X?
Quite some times. Yeah, pretty much.
So,
Well,
just as a question, no insidious thought processes or anything going on here. How's she been lately?
same as always. Cold, calculating, and I suppose a nice way to say it would be an emotionless husk.
Hasn't been in trouble or anything, no?
Not that I know of. Her operations are above mine. I don't see or accompany anything, but we at times, quite a few times actually, do like work with or report to her when we must.
Esme is like, okay. She gets like a dreamy look in her eyes.
And if before the next question is, have I had to report on, say, any of you or if any of your names popped up? No.
I feel like it's because mother and Esme is just like, oh my god, you don't need to report on us. They're fully able to track us. Oh god.
Kit just keeps nodding and he's like, anything else? Like, it's the cigarette out in the cup.
I forgot that I had the X's sword, guys. That was such a big problem before.
Yes, before, but please, friends, continue. What else would you like to say to dearest Kit Darrow?
Oh no, I'm done.
I think Isadora's right. It's worth a try to get out of here for a while. It's only going to get worse. And they are going to eventually look where they shouldn't, and they're going to kill you. And you're smart. You know that. You know that.
I'll put in the request when the news breaks. Fair?
Just do what you can. I know you're stuck, but you have to try. It's not just your life's on the line, either.
He nods. I'll put in the request when the news breaks. Anything else?
Well, I'm going to be leaving the city for a while, so... while I'm gone, just... be safe, and if you need anything...
Esme, where's the bathroom? Show me the bathroom. And she shoves her out of the room.
I don't know where poor people pee.
Just go!
Esme starts rattling around the house.
Kit looks caught up and down and is like, well, for the time being, brother, chances are we probably won't be able to write back and forth. If you wish to contact me, you'll have to either come home or, create something that can, get past their systems. But at the moment, we're in this shitstorm together, and if it means we have to go a couple of weeks without letters because we have to play it smart, then so be it. It'll be a silent weeks, but it's better than being dead. Wouldn't you agree?
Look, you can keep playing it safe, but you need to come up with a plan. This can't go on like this.
Icky, you've all pointed out how I need a plan. I have said what I will try to do. What more do you want me? I can't make it happen right now. I said I would put in the request. I'll put the request in. If not, I'll find someone who looks like me, stab them, and burn the house out or something. Can you please stop telling me how to do my job, please?
Fine. Look, I trust you to take care of yourself. You know me. I'm just worried.
I'm worried too, Icarus. But all I can do is roll with the, punches I have, and I'm smart. You're smart. We both survived this long. We can survive longer, and yes, there'll probably be a time I'm going to have to make or break, and I haven't quite put, plans in motion for that because I don't see it happening anytime soon. Mainly because I've avoided heat this long. The only thing that could probably draw prying eyes is the issue with the mercenaries returning to the city when my parents didn't. But that's easily fixed. Nothing. It'll take time to fix, and time is money in our industry. But no, you're smart, Icky. I'm smart. We'll live. It's going to be a rocky road, and we're just both going to have to accept that maybe there could be weeks, months where we don't hear from each other because it's the safest bet, and that's not ideal. But again, I would much rather an ideal situation where we both live more so than sending a letter being like, "Oh, I miss you." It's like I miss you too, brother, but let's not risk getting street executed over it. You know what I mean?
I know, I wasn't suggesting that. Don't worry, you won't hear from me.
Well, just next time you're in the city, make sure you pop in. The shop will be here. Maybe I can hire out some people to work in it, and it'll be fine. I'll get it up and running. And if not, maybe I'll retire and see if I can take over my, deceased parents' business. That could too. I don't know. Again, I'll have to put in the claims and the requests when the news breaks. I can't jump the gun or have anything pre-written because that just all fucks it up. So at the moment, until I get a knock on the door from someone saying, "We dreadfully sorry to inform you of a series of unfortunate events," but lo and behold, that's all I've got at the moment.
Well, if you do have to run and you get one chance, go south. Dead Man's Haven is the safest place I know at the minute.
He's like, "All right, duly noted." Where are you going now?
Gods, no. Out of the city anyway for quite a while. It's better if I don't tell you, though, isn't it?
That is, brother. So you're catching on.
Took me a while to learn, yes.
Well, learn by doing, as they say. And he grins.
Look, I probably shouldn't have told you some of the things I did, but I just wanted you to trust me.
He waves his hand and he's like, "Icarus, if they're not barring down our door right now, it means it hasn't fucked us up with the, future crime individuals. So, every day you walk down the streets of Yuria and aren't getting arrested by some weird fucked up creature, means you're doing good, means you're on the right path. So just, remember that."
I'll let you get back to your paperwork then.
He stands and he's like, "Till next time," and kind of gesture a hug.
I'll go find whatever Esme you're doing to my house.
Does Coda hug him or does?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Sorry, no.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. He just "till next time" and kind of.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought straight.
Sorry,
up
I didn't hear you. No. I'm fuck you, bye. No.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, they hug it and it's like, "Till next time, brother. Stay safe." It's, nice moment. It's a nice long hug. It's cute, soft, and he sits back down and continues his work. Pours out another cup of tea. That's okay.
Then I'll go find whatever it is you're doing to my house.
They're probably just looking at really hilarious baby sketches, I guess, not photographs.
They're photographs sent back in time.
Exactly.
But they're still somehow of Coda.
You looking through my things?
Yep.
No, I just don't understand. There's not enough rooms.
There's enough.
It's only
rooms?
4. No.
Probably.
All houses are small compared to the Nilo.
That's true. If you don't live in a mansion,
To the Nilo crack manor. you don't even have a chokey in your basement, Coda.
I would never need one.
How do you punish people?
How do you punish? How did your parents put? Well, clearly your parents did not punish their children.
He just appears. Can you get out of my house now?
I thought it was a public shop. As May leaves, just goodbye. I'm not a criminal.
Oh, just based on a downtime RP thing I with Izzy, I will point to a family portrait on the wall and go "That's what I used to do." There you go.
Just look at Kit. They're the same person.
I looked at what Icarus used to look like and goes, I prefer this model. She pats him on the shoulder.
Well, thank you. Yeah, then we'll
He's
leave.
still got the funny looking nose.
Yeah,
Friends, you find yourselves in the rich district. Where go, what do?
So we're waiting for night for this theater of yours.
No, you need to go and build things. Where can you build things?
Sorry, yes. Well, actually, back in that house, probably.
I mean, you can probably construct a smoke bomb.
I have my portable forge, yeah, so I don't need a full forge for that now.
You could do it in the Nilo home.
Oh, I could, yeah, okay.
We walk back in Kit, we're not here to talk to you, Doris.
It's like that thing picture of when the swamp lady just steps back I live here, so I'm not actually going anywhere, but you don't have to talk to me anymore. Yeah, we'll do the Nyla house then, just to avoid, like when you say goodbye to someone, then you're walking the same direction, and it's like, yeah. So we'll go to the Nyla house purely for that reason.
Like that exact one, like the traffic beside you is just like, you look way more appealing. Yeah. So give me them rolls. What do Izzy and Esme do in the sense of preparing for battle?
So I probably just need to be reminded of a few things. There's definitely there's no entrance from above. There's an entrance at the front and the back, isn't there?
Yeah, big double doors. And one side door.
So yeah, is there 3 points of entrance? 2.
3 points of entrance. 2 double at the back, 2 double at the front, and 1 side door. Like in terms of it's probably like a fire exit.
Yeah. So we're going to seal those doors, probably with chains or something. We'll pick one. I feel like the most dramatic is the front. I feel like the sneakiest one is the back. But then I feel like the one that we should take is probably the mid, like the service entrance, essentially. So we need to do that. Once we go in, we all have our smoke bombs. We call the guys out. They come in. We put on our our red forest masks. I don't think you need to do that.
Nope.
We drop the bombs. Hopefully. Had I thought of a way to stop that from happening? I can't remember. So we won't be affected by inhaling the smoke, but I think we'll still be affected by the
obscured vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're an actual riot police going into smoke areas, you won't breathe in probably tear gassy effect in terms of we're thinking about actual what they
just
use.
An out of character question: do we still have our red forest masks?
Yes, unless
those could work.
Unless you.
No. They'll help with the. They'll help us avoid inhaling anything, but I think I talked to Darren about it. I don't think they'll increase our view distance. I think they'll still drop it to half.
Okay.
The ideal situation is we get all of his lackeys out first, get the lackeys, and then we take on him. That might not.
How many people is going to be dealing with?
Darren.
Yo.
How big was the guild in Yuria? Because was it? I want to put words in your mouth, but not everyone joined up with Shroud and Richie.
The Shroudy boys. Going off the numbers purely of Nasty Boy recruits, there's probably Richmond plus maybe 6 or 7. If it's just it's still him and that roster of just Nasty Boys.
She'll round up to 10, and I also just remembered that yes, I did think of a way of the problem. Isadora.
Hello.
Do you remember a long time ago? Actually, we were just talking about it. Remember when we were in the paper tower and we were fighting that hag and she turned invisible?
Yeah.
You cast a spell that made her visible.
I did.
Perhaps if you were to cast that same spell after we dropped the smoke bombs, you would outline them in light so we know where they are, but they might not know where we are. And
definitely. That's a great idea.
So
I can definitely do that.
What it might mean is I might drop 2 instead of you dropping 1 and all 3 of us dropping 1 each. It might be a case of I'll throw 2 down and then you're casting that to basically outline them. We need to focus fire, essentially.
Yeah.
I don't know how hard they're going to be to get down. Because they're
I hate to
clearly
interrupt. I did work on another small thing on the road. It's I suppose a similar enough effect to the smoke bomb, but it wouldn't last. It's sort of if we could throw it into the room before we entered, it should cover about a 20-30 foot radius, but it would sort of blind and deafen them, but it wouldn't last. So if we could stay out of the room, we
the
could
problem.
be able to, well, just throw them into
It is.
disarray without blinding ourselves.
It's a good idea. The problem with it is out of character. The best statement is from the times that Esme has been there, kind of scoping out the place, she has never seen them all together in one. Like she's never seen them all together.
Right.
So I'm working off the idea that they'll show up once we show up, as opposed
Yeah.
to we're going to be able to lead them all into one space beforehand.
Well, like out of character, we have basically like stat wise, I have basically like a flashbang. So like if we can find a way to lure them into one area, it's like a 30-foot radius. It blinds and deafens them for a minute. So like if we could find a way to like get them into one place, that could be probably better for us than the smoke bomb because it won't blind us. But you know, like it's something to bear in mind. We have as well.
Well, no, I guess we'd be in the room. I was gonna say in the instance that we need to make a getaway, it might be useful, but
Yeah, but it's a 30-foot, and it would affect us if we're in the room.
Yeah,
well, like unless
sure,
we can
sure.
stand, and it's like a 50-foot room, but I doubt it. It's probably gonna be,
Yeah.
a small enough room. So that's kind of only something that could work if we're throwing it into a room full of guys.
Isadora, would you be able to create like a convincing illusion of me?
let me think.
There's an option
Are you
that.
anyone's deepest fear?
Yeah, Coda raises his hand.
No, I would imagine the opposite. But what I could see being an option, if it's possible, which it might not be, and that's okay, would be creating something that looks like me there, doing the call out, hopefully having that draw them in. We're
And then
hiding
smoke
as
bombs.
best we can, and then we throw this device in.
Do you know what?
But
Yeah, I think I've got something. Yeah.
the trick of that one is it will rely on us being very quiet getting in. We need to be
Okay.
silent as possible getting in and making sure we don't like. I think this is a pretty decent run of the plan so far. We get in, and if we can successfully do that without making any noise or making too much noise, Isadora will project an image into the center of the room. We will, I will attempt to throw a voice, essentially, and call out Richmond and his gang. Once they appear, Coda will throw the device in, and then the closest one to us we'll lay in on. My biggest concern is the fact that all of us need to fight from a distance.
I can stand up close if I need to. I have my shield. It's better than one of you taking the hits.
And worst case scenario, I can make a distance between myself and other people if I have to.
Those new gloves should do that as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, that should help if that's the case. Equally, things that are cool aesthetics. If we were to get up into a balcony and do it,
Ooh,
would
I
literally
like that.
those
Very fast.
that relies on that relies on more work being put in, which is possible. I would say we're thinking something like he says it in character. just to kind of put the assessment out there. So it's like, we're expecting something in the realm of maybe 10 people.
Okay.
They are trained as well as I have been, or at least as well as I was when I showed up to go on that sewer adventure with you all that long ago. The core idea is using as much of a distraction as we can possibly generate to put them off their game, because we're going to be in their house. They'll know that place better than we will, and that's going to put us at a significant disadvantage. I don't think we're going to be able to get them to meet us anywhere else.
Well, I can make a few, I can throw a few noises around, but that's
Yeah, no,
about
we can
it.
definitely distract them.
I'm not as good at sneaking as you two are, but I can try.
Well, this is it. You need to I know that whatever you do, you're going to do your best. But if what happens is there's nothing we can do, if we fuck up getting in quietly, we need to walk into the dead center with the smoke bombs, follow that up with the spell from Isadora, and then not avoiding Richmond or leaving him to last, but taking out the other ones first.
Yeah.
Because while they might not be as strong as he is, they stand to do a lot more lasting damage over time than he will in one or two. Like there's more of them to shoot us than there is one of him.
Yeah.
Their advantage is numbers. We have to take care of that first.
Is there anything else I'm forgetting, Darren? I'm just trying to remember.
Nope. You are good to go.
The entrances, the distraction, all on one target at a time. Is there anything else?
A lot of our plan and our approach will rely on what we see when we get there, when we scope it out. So we'll just have to go and see.
Yeah, just give me 2 seconds. Are we going to take a break?
We're going to take a 5-minute break.
Cool.
Do people want to take a 5-minute break just so I can
Yeah,
make
so
sure
you can look over your stuff, yeah?
Yeah, I gotta
Cool.
run and get water. Alright, 5-minute break, guys.
Okay, back in a minute.
Yeah, okay, guys. Do you want to continue planning, Neil? You said you remembered a few things.
Yeah, she just says their whole trick is like a bait and switch. So they'll send in two to be like. Basically, we need to watch our backs because the obvious target might not be the target to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, we've said that already about whatchamacallit, about like all on one, take them out, nuke the damage or whatever, and avoiding Richmond. But it's just there's also the potential for something else like that to be happening. They're generally resistant to regular weapons, so I think that puts me down to either the Karen bow or the rod, and I'm kind of okay with that. But just keep that in mind if you've got spells and effects and abilities and stuff like that, because I have no idea how that applies to Coda's gun. In terms of resistance.
I got that thing from the god place in the sky, robot heaven. I got that thing. It would mean I could use force damage instead of regular damage. I think I can't use sharpshooter on it, so I'll do less damage, but I can do force damage. So it's not necessarily just like regular piercing slashing. So I can do that.
Cool. Just the main thing is to keep in mind that resistance. The other thing is keeping an eye on the amount of noise we make, because guards are going to there were guards around, and including seekers, very, 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 very much hoping that's not going to be an issue. But it's always a potential cause for concern. The worst thing that can happen Though the absolute worst thing that can happen is we need to fall back to. If things were to go beyond the pale, the worst they could go, I think we could convince Rose to do one last push out. But I would very much like to avoid that. That is literally if someone is dead. That is if someone is dead. But in general, like if it's just a retreat scenario, probably head back to the Nilo house. Probably hide out somewhere in there. If they attack us there, potential Home Alone style home field advantage, be fine. But equally, those are the things to consider. Whatever happens, I would be very pro getting out of the city the minute this is dealt with, because there's no salvaging. There's no salvaging the guild now. I'll come back. Like we'll be back at some point, and I'll have done the work to get it ready to come back in here. Does everyone have a good sense of what we're doing?
Yes.
Yes. Lead on.
Okay. Darren.
Hello.
We just need to get like a small length of chain and a pad and like a lock. 2 small lengths of chain and 2 locks. So what do I have to do to get these?
I'm gonna say like they're not exactly the most like obscure items. You find like a local smith, and the whole thing sets you back like 2 gold. Like chain's pretty cheap, and the lock is probably the most complex thing that you order because the like mechanist tech like locks can be pretty fucking solid. But like again, they're not gonna like break the bank. So yeah, it's a total of 2 gold for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, is it 2 lengths of chain and 2 locks, or
Yeah, literally 1 for each of
yeah,
the...
no, then it's 2 gold. It's essentially a gold for the it's like 50 silver for each, basically each component. So it comes to like a total of like a 1 gold each.
Yeah, that's good. She pays for them, and she's like, "Cool, get out of here." So
Yeah, rock and roll.
the House of the Wolves. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, let's go and see what happens.
Cool. It takes you a while. Time passes. It takes you like an hour to effectively get into position. You are across the road from the theater, to be the location that Esme is talking about. How do you want to go about this? If you guys just want to go about the thing, declare your actions. If you want to be sneaky, I will require stealth checks.
We're going in the middle door, is that?
Yeah. So just opening thing, perception check to just see, just to make sure, like just to see if we can get a sense of if anyone is around that, like.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Give me that roll, friend.
Can I try as well?
Say that again.
I just said, can I try as well?
Oh yeah, of course.
Ha! No.
Coda is nervous.
Only that one of the night, you guys. Only that one.
Hey! We're fine. Everything's
See?
fine.
Told you.
Yin and yang, we balance.
Esme,
It's fine.
there is no movement coming from the building itself. The streets are relatively empty because it's getting late in the day. It's like curfews around the corner, that kind of thing. It's a case of like you see a couple of beat cops walking, but nothing mental. Slum citizens are kind of like turning in for the night, that sort of thing. For the most part, it seems relatively calm and quiet and empty for the moment.
She is going to like lead the party towards the thing. Currently, like not visibly sneaking, but she's going to like for the purposes of appearing nonchalant as she walks towards the theatre, once she is like out of the immediate range of anyone seeing her, she's going to like sneak up the rest of the way to put a lock on the first door with the chain.
Go for it, buddy. Like it's a case of is that what you want to do?
Plan for finally facing Richie is the same thing. It's literally just focused all
Murder
on
him.
him. Like,
yeah, but like Esme doesn't want to like talk to him or get anything out
No,
of
I
it. It's just
want
like
him
it's just
dead.
straight up kill. Yeah,
chances
okay.
are,
Cool.
chances are if there's any talking, it might happen at the start, and that'd be cool. But
Right,
realistically,
but like Esme doesn't want to like oh I want to do this or like blah blah. She doesn't have any like plans. Just like kill him.
I mean, yeah, it's more just put him down, and once he's down, then we can decide about
Yeah.
if there's anything necessary beyond that.
But if it's a case of like he looks really bloodied and I'm about to take 2 shots, like should I try and shoot him in the knees? Do you want to have a final like thing with him, or should like
No,
straight up blow his head off?
No, just finish
Yeah.
the encounter.
Okay.
Cool. So is it stealth?
It is indeed.
Oh god.
Esme sneaks. Esme puts the chain
Oh,
around
sorry.
and locks it. With a
Oh wait,
quiet...
are we all sneaking or is it just Esme?
I assume it's just Esme.
Oh,
because she's
okay.
trying to
Oh,
lock
fine,
some doors,
okay.
And then we'll sneak when we go.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
Essentially. That's cool. Esme, the front door is now barred and locked.
Esme says into the ring, can the two of you move towards the middle door? I'm going to move around to the back and I'll meet you there, kind of thing. Can I sneak around to the far side?
You
now?
may indeed.
Let's just sneak.
Okay, nice. For the most part, everyone's sneaky. Coda kind of trips and makes a bit of noise, but there's no one on the streets. Esme, you successfully sneak around to the back. You have a clear shot, essentially locking the door, like you did the first.
Yeah. And then she will just... She'll just move back towards the... She'll move back to the last door.
You all reconvene at the side of the building. The door looks decrepit and old. It's like wood chipped and coming on.
I take it there's a handle kind.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. It's just kind of like a rundown.
Can I investigate it for traps?
Yep. Esme, the door is clean.
Esme, just more so out of being Esme, says to the door, would you be able to check that over? Make sure there's no magic traps on it that I'm not picking up?
Yeah, she'll detect magic on it.
Nothing.
Yeah, she shakes her head. It's clean.
Esme will try to open the door.
Yep. It creaks a little, like in the sense that it's just probably hasn't been opened in a while. But other than that, it opens with ease and leads into a darkened corridor. You see the paint that has been applied to the walls is like peeling and chipping. It's like there's a lot of water stains and mildew. It's very, it's like the stink is kind of pungent, but not like, repulsive. But it invades your nostrils, and it's a case of like this definitely looks like probably like a fire exit or somewhere to go if like the exits are kind of like overflowing, like kind of like a runoff area. So there's just a long hallway with a door at the end.
I'm going to investigate here for traps.
Yeah, go for it. But
And I'll do the same of checking for magic.
I guess like just to make myself useful, I'll do some perception checks, see if I can hear or see anything else.
cool. Give me them. Amy, you detect no magical things.
Okay.
Coda, you just noticed that like this place looks old and really, really wore down. Like the walls could probably be pushed over if Risbet probably gave it as all. Like the boards are kind of like water damages everywhere, and like they're kind of splintered and broken and coming undone. The roof, like some of the floorboards in the roof are kind of like aiming down into the hallway, look like they might fall, that sort of thing. Nothing like, oh my god, we're like bad. But it's more like this place is really, really decrepit and run down. Esme, you see nothing out of the ordinary.
Cool. She's gonna sneak up to the next door.
Rock and roll, give me that roll. Yep, Esme is quiet as a mouse.
Do we all have to make stealth checks here?
If you're sneaking,
okay.
stealth checks. If not, you walk.
Oh, sorry.
Coda, your foot goes between two floorboards that break and you like fall forward and there's a massive crash.
Into the ring, Esme says, Isadora, can you cast that thing here? I'm about to walk through the door if I just pull it open.
Yes. Now, the thing I'm intending to use is Phantasmal Force, which is technically against a target. So I'm not quite sure how to go about this. I might just check to see if I have another illusion spell ready, because I don't think this quite fits the bill.
Yeah, I think you'd have to like cast it on Richmond if. Like,
yeah, that's the issue there. So give me 2 seconds.
Is while Amy's checking that, Neil, did you say you sneak up to open the door, or you just sneak up to the door?
She's just at the door for the moment.
Yeah, cool. Like right. Yeah, no, that's cool. Just wanted to triple check.
She's like looking back at Coda, and she's not like, she doesn't look angry or anything. She's more just, the wheels are in her head as to, it's like, cool, if they are here and they are watching, they are aware that someone is in this hallway. So
yeah, he's still lying on his face, and the ring kind of going like,
okay.
Sorry, I fucked it up.
Shh.
Okay. She casts Silent Image, and a second Esme appears and she commands it to walk through the door.
Esme is going to, yeah, as Esme sees that moving, she's going to like quietly, just going to open the door but hide behind. Well, hold on, Darren, what way does the door open? Does it open out towards like the stage, or does it open?
No, it opens towards you.
Yeah, Esme is going to basically try to open that door but hide behind it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Give me a stealth check. Yeah, Esme is successfully hidden. The silent image that Izzy has created walks forward. The room head is kind of like an S shape, but kind of like a pixel like S shape, like that sort of thing. It seems to be just kind of like a runoff area for like large crowds again, like a side exit. There's kind of like one of those like red velvet like to block off an area that you see them in like theaters and stuff, like cinema sometimes. It's kind of hooked on, the two hooks are on the same area near the door Esme's at, so like it's a case of like it would probably indicate that this door isn't being used, like don't come here, that sort of thing. But yeah, it seems to, like when you go in, turn to the left, and there's a hook that you can go around the corner. You see like the edges of what looks like kind of like a theater auditorium kind of area. Like you see seats from your angle.
As May says into the ring, we're going to have to move up closer.
Mm-hmm.
So Esme's going to sneak up closer to basically the way I'm. So we're coming up alongside the seating, not onto the stage or anything.
Yeah, essentially, you guys have like a corridor, and then if you press up against it, like Solid Snake style, and peer around it, you are looking from the side, from a side view of the room, like into like the main theater area, like the rows of chairs, and the stage is probably to the right, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Is it possible for me to kind of like go a little bit after them, so I'm not like, if I do fuck up, I'm not, like I'm kind of walking a bit on my own, so like they're going a bit ahead of me to scope things out first?
If you wish to lag behind, yeah.
You can choose to wait until we call you forward.
Yeah, that's kind of, because I'm just thinking, like, if I keep fucking up the stealth, like you guys are getting good rolls, and like there's not much point in wasting them. So like you guys kind of scout ahead, and I'll hold back until you go right. It's clear, come forward, kind of thing.
The one
like-
thing Esme says into the ring is their whole deal is supposed to be like distract and attack. So leaving you on your own is a dangerous gambit. So you need to be completely aware of your situation at all times, because the whole point is we're supposed to get the drop on them, not the other way around.
Yeah, okay, maybe he will just stay with you guys then, I guess. It's probably smarter.
No, yeah, we shouldn't be separated in a place like this.
Yeah, okay.
Esme and is sneak.
Wow, buddy!
Coda,
Wait.
you fall like put what?
No, that's a saving throw, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of gnats. Not ones. Yeah, Coda again breaks another floorboard and stumbles, his like shield and such kind of rattling off the wall. Nice bit of metallic rattle. Esme, Izzy, when you guys creep up to the corner to like peer around, before you is it amphitheater? Is that the correct term? Like,
The silent image is like 60 feet ahead of us.
Oh yes, that's good. Yes, you see like the large area that like a stage, like a theater would be. You see rows upon rows of red velvet seats. The stage is like, higher up. It's got like big red velvet curtains that are drawn back, pulled back. At the very top, where like just kind of like a banner might be, is two decrepit, like aged, warped wood sculptures of wolves, like snarling mouths open, like both directed, pointed at the stage, on each side, left and right side. The chairs look old and faded and just generally just not in good, like some have like fungus growing out of it, that sort of thing. The carpet's stained, like it's just kind of squelches a little bit when you press on it. Your feet stick to it. It's not nice. What is going on here, buddy?
I was trying to flush it out, but I got all my good rolls out of the way. Now I can get back to my nat ones.
Yeah, no, that's fair. On the stage, like the room is pitch black, bar the stage, which has a chair, a table, something on the table, a second chair on the opposite side, in the center of the stage. Two what's the word? Like candle, like sticks holders, like ones that like are about like maybe 5 feet tall, kind of thing, like two large candles that go all the way down to the floor, kind of like wide enough, set aside on each side of the stage. They're burned. Their flames cast like flickering shadows amongst the the chairs and tables, causing like crisscrosses and X such to appear on floor, and like kind of faded shadows. Kind of like the flames are constantly flickering, as if perhaps there's like a breeze from maybe an open window, or like a broken window perhaps, or a hole in the wall, that sort of thing. Shadows are constantly dancing. The air is kind of thick with a musky, dusty smell. Kind of like there's definitely moisture in the air too. To the left is two double doors that probably leads into the foyer, where you could probably buy your tickets, maybe snacks, if that's the kind of thing they do here. But yes, before you is this theater.
I'm gonna send the image to like move around as if she's like looking for something.
Okay, yeah, like through the seats, is it?
Yeah, through the seats and looking back up at the stage and that kind of thing.
Esme will basically, like, she will watch as her double does this, and then she'll like tell Izzy to just like have her stand still for a moment.
Yeah, she'll do that.
Darren, Esme is going to attempt to throw her voice to make it sound like it's coming from the silent image.
Okay, and performance.
Yeah, Teddy. Oh well, she tried.
What does Esme say specifically, Neil?
She just shouts. It's like, Richmond, your perversion of our organization ends tonight.
Just your general perversion. We're here to kink shame.
Hey.
Can that be our official
no
team
kink
name?
In my...
Just
no,
like Team Kink Shame?
No kink shame in my game, my dudes. the crisscrossing, dancing shadows on the stage caused by the chairs and table and such dance, warp, and like twist and combine together and slowly grow upward from the floor as a twirling mass of shadow like rises up like two like extruded, really exaggerated shoulders up, head dunked in, and like you see it kind of like wraps up and opens into a cloak, and like before you stands a Richmond. His skin darkened slightly more, kind of like shifting from his dark kind of like mocha kind of skin tones to a almost grayish. It looks like it's been tinted slightly with gray. His hair has patches of gray, white, and black, and all his like armor and such that seems to be hidden primarily under this cloak that is of literal shadow. That kind of has like flickers of like almost black flame or like specks coming like trailing off it constantly as if a wind or a breeze is around. Stands there. His eyes kind of have like a kind of a grayish, like a really matte grayish blue to them. But he stands before the image and he's like, "Take a seat, Miss Nilo." And he sits down on one of the chairs at the back of the thing, like opposite this table and whatever's on the table.
In the ring, Esme just says, I have no idea if we're convincing him with the illusion, but I don't think it's going to work if we have to go closer. So
he can make an intelligence check to try to figure out if it is no, or if he physically she can't physically interact with things.
The problem is,
so it's your call what you want to do.
Esme definitely has one of the smoke bombs. Like we all have at least one.
I think we have like
bomb.
one each, yeah.
Esme says, "You two stay hidden."
You sure?
Yes, I will go up. And then if his people attack from the chairs, Coda throw the thing in. Otherwise, let's see what happens.
Make sure you have your mask ready to go. Coda, you too.
Oh yeah. That'll be fine. Esme will step out of the shadows.
And when she does, I'll dismiss the illusion.
Ah, there you are, Miss Nilo.
I know, I made too much noise coming in this time.
Getting sloppy, are we?
Lazy. I must be getting lazy. I did blow up, like she's saying all this as she's like walking up to the thing. She's like, I did find a dead body, kill a gnome, and blow up an arms depot last night. I might be getting old, Rich.
Well, it happens to the best of us. As Esme approaches, you can see as he says that he actually kind of looks like he's aged a smidge. Like the lines around his eyes, forehead, and stuff seem a bit more deep, a bit more defined. You're kind of unsure if the grey patches and white patches of hair for like whatever boons he perhaps is receiving from the shroud, or if it's actually just old age coming to bite him in the heels. But yes. As you approach, are you approaching the stage to essentially like sit on the other side of the
she's
table?
gonna like sit across from
him. Cool. You notice as like you're approaching him that he actually like the only way I can put it is that he actually looks like he's in better shape now. He looks a bit more jacked. Like originally Richmond was very much like your typical like kind of lanky, like athletic toned roguish. But now he looks a bit more like, he could probably like, swing a hefty like haymaker, that kind of thing. He looks like he's been hitting the gym.
She basically says, it's like, it looks like pencil pushing grew you some muscles while I wasn't watching.
Oh, Esme. You get busy living, you get busy dying, and he gestures to the chair and then gestures to the thing that's on the table. Esme, it's a chessboard.
Such a drama queen.
Darn, are you literally turning this back around on me, you shit?
No, it's purely a
Is
thing.
this that movie with the guy playing chess with death? What's that movie with Max von
Seven
Sydow?
Seal?
Yeah, Seven Seal.
I'm being seven sealed. Esme
You are.
sits and she says, I've never really had a mind for this.
On the
What
board
happened?
is a charcoaly, musky, matte black king, no doubt, at one end of the board. In the middle of the board is a queen, a typically queen. It looks like it's made out of it honestly looks like it's cast in pure gold. It has a bit of a shine to it, almost. Not a glow, but like it's the type of thing that you'd probably sell it to like a dumb person, be like, look, it's glowing. The crown that the queen piece wears has the symbol of Pelor, and directly behind the queen piece that has the Pelor are 3 pawns that have been painted and outfitted with what looks like gender costumes. As Esme sits, he just gestures to the board and he's like, your move, Miss Nyla.
she turns away from the board to see if there's someone behind her.
There is not.
While this is happening, Isidore is just keeping an eye on everything to make sure no one's watching us.
Same. Like if you want us to keep making perception checks, I can do that.
No, you're good for the minute. So, Esme, what brings you to our humble abode?
You know what it was, Richie? It was realizing that this town ain't big enough for the 2 of us.
That sentence started off so well, and then you just tanked it.
I found out that you had originally planned to make me head of Orion, and honestly, that sounded like such a sweet deal. But now there's no head in. Now there's no one leading up the nasty boys in Yuria, so I guess that's the position I'm vying for.
Yeah, no, you can have it.
Well, not when there's another group running around.
Oh, well, don't worry. We'll take care of Orion, Ashale, and Earth, all the little satellite towns. They're being taken care of. So you can have Yuria if you want. The city's not worth saving. It's dying, Esme. You know it. I know it.
It is.
Your little jokes of your comrades, which, where are they, by the way? You don't strike me as the completely moronic type to just walk in here by your lonesome. Where are they? Call them out. It should be fun. Let's have a nice look. Do you need more chairs? I could get another chair. There's a crate over there. One of them can sit on that.
She just passes over that part, the whole friends bit. She's like, well, I guess you're right. The city is dying. Well, why was it again that you decided to join up with the Shroud? Wasn't it for power? Wasn't it to take an active hand in things?
Yes. Why do you say that as if it's not the issue? What's going on? I don't follow your logic.
It was more just... Did you know that there was a cult of Tarzadun in the city?
I didn't, but we'll have to add it to the long list of many.
Like what? She just looks down at her hands like, what have you done? You killed that cleric. But like what was your whole proactive thing? Like what did you just do?
Oh, Esme. Putting a dying beast like a city to sleep isn't an overnight thing. We've been busy. Granted, my 6, well, they call themselves apostles because they're very dramatic. But my 6 proteges, I had a job for them. And then the city caught on fire a whole lot, so I was like, you know what? Let's just kick it up a notch. Let's just put it so now, the 6 surrounding cities, they're, we'll set up a little network there, and I guess that leaves me with Yuria, and you want Yuria, so you can see we're at a kind of a crossroads there. But yeah, no, blowing up buildings, Esme. You've been a busy gal. What's that? You whinge to me about stabbing clerics, but you're blowing innocent people up in their workplace. What's with that? How come you get to do it? What's your justification?
Well, here's the first part of my justification. I didn't join up with a weird god. I ended up with
a dead one.
Pelor's not dead. Wait, Esme looks at the rod. Is like, Pelor, are you dead? Anyway, I didn't sign up for the god who was looking to actively cause further damage to this world. I sought to join up with the one who was actively trying to not allow bad things to happen. But equally, and on top of that, I proved that a proactive stance from the Nasty Boys doesn't have to be based off of someone else's power. It has to be based off your own grit and ability to get things done. I took out... we had 3 missions that needed to be handled. I handled all 3 with one other person in the space of 24 hours. All I've seen you do in the last month, 2 months, is kill 1 cleric.
He claps slowly.
Why are you slow clapping? Why are you golf clapping? That's my...
I'm commending the effort. Spoken like someone who is truly in love with their own voice. You always are entertaining to be mocked at from Esme.
You do know that you're going to just put that one out there. You know the shroud came to me first.
I do! And you were too pathetic and cowardly to rise to the challenge, and so someone else had to step in and do your work for you. Much like your work in the cities, correct? You were always harking on about, we should expand to the cities, yet how many Nasty Boys are around the hunt now, Esme?
Well, Borea, Ishaelin, and Dagdom, and then your brothers. They say hi and please die, by the way. That's pretty much as I got done. I got wrapped up in some foresty adventures. I got wrapped up in some other stuff. Look, Richie, I'd love to stay and chat, but I'd also prefer to stay and watch you die. So this,
Esme,
the actress thing.
You can
she
do
just
that.
picks up the rose, what I'm now referring to as the rose gold Esme. And she just places it closer to the Richmond piece, as close as possible, while still being a legal chess move.
He smiles wide. And he's like, haptic Esme. But you aim to kill me. That's okay. I believe in you. You're great at accomplishing things. But how about we start in 2-3 minutes? Is that good for you?
What? Is there a curtain call? You're going to do something else dramatic?
Oh no, I've done my part. Now we wait. I didn't do anything.
What?
From outside the building, you hear a booming voice. This is the hand of Yuria. Surrender now, or we will be required to use lethal force.
I'm laughing, but Esme just turns to him and is like, that's such a dick move.
As you turn him to say that, you see that there's a bronzy, the same kind of bronzy, goldy, dull color that the hand sigil is made out of the badges has appeared, and it's a king behind Esme. It's has been now added to the board. It's Esme, this sea is just, it's beautiful. It's my favorite place in the whole world. So you can understand why I'm passionate about saving it, but it's kind of devolved from a city into more a kennel of rabid dogs, and they all have to be put down. And you know it, I know it, your friends deep down know it. They won't admit it because they're whatever. What helps them sleep at night? The easiest, quickest, and most effective way to do that is to simply kill the people that allowed it to get this way. The people aren't worth saving, the city is. If they survive it, they are allowed live on. If not, then they may perish.
I mean, were I a neutral woman, who knows? Perhaps I would agree, because it is pretty much the worst place in the world in a lot of ways. But I am not. I believe that we must help each other give the world the best chance it's got. What is it that you're like? What are you gonna do? She kind of just stands up from the board and then turns towards the doors to see what's about to happen here.
Chaos, Esme. As he says that, you see the shadows that are flicking around the theater from the stage start to warp and move and solidify in not as a dramatic sense as Richmond, but you can see that it kind of looks like if you took generic looking bits and kind of kitted them out in slightly nicer leather armorish. A few have a bit of play, a few more in robes. But it's kind of got that matte black, seems to absorb light more so than catch it and reflect it, that sort of thing. On the surface, they all slowly start to appear, and he's like, "Well, while my proteges are away, we decide to pump out the numbers." And he gestures around, and quite a lot of people are essentially appearing through the smoke and cracks and shadows. And he's like, "You'd be surprised how many people are willing to give up a lot for 1/10 of what one of my proteges can do, which is unmatched by me." And he's he's just kind of playing with the chess piece, running around his fingers, and more and more
How
of
many
these
people
guys.
are there?
There's 20 or 30, and they're kind of appearing slowly and more and slow, and you hear the hand of Yuria screaming. He's like, "It's your last chance," and he's like, "Are you ready for what comes next, Esme?"
I tell Esme through the ring to get back to us now.
She takes the rod of Pelor in her hand, and she just says, she points it at him, and she says, "Let's see what you got. Don't worry, I've got a plan, Isadora. It is involving going back towards you. I just need to see what happens first."
The front doors essentially are removed by explosive force. Some of the walls too, as the armed response team of the Hand of Yuria charges forward, swords, shields, everything drawn. They are sprinting in. Richmond stands with a triumphant one hand on the table and flips it off to the side, narrowly missing Esme's head. And the chess pieces go everywhere, and he's like, "Miss Low," and he clenches fists and grins, and you see the nasty, not the nasty boys, the shouty boys charge the Hand of Yuria, and complete and utter anarchy breaks out. There is just a force of Hand of Yuria individuals and shroudy boys just pouring in on endings, seeing two rivers clash, that kind of thing, just smashing off each other. And there is a small pocket of fighters making a circle essentially around and Richmond.
Esme just says, "Well, this should be interesting," and says into the ring, "We're not getting out of this one."
Yes, we are. Come back here.
She's 100% just not going to run away from this. We came to do the thing.
We cannot fight upwards of 30 people. Let them kill
I mean,
each
I
other.
think, out of character, are you saying this in character?
Who, me?
She's like,
You,
I feel
yeah.
like,
In character.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
she's like, I feel like, yeah, I'm not sure how much of a full-on conversation we can have in the moments after this has started, but it's just I feel like the hand of Yuria and those guys have a fight that they're having. This, on the other hand, seems to be directed directly at me.
Guys, I'm going to ask for an action that you all do. Down the line, I'm going to go by the Discord role, initiative, essentially. Kodo, what are you doing?
Oh, shit.
Oh god. How far away are we from the circle of boys around Esme and Richard?
Essentially, it would take you an entire round in terms of combat to get through. It consumes your action and your movement because you guys are essentially like pushing through a riot, like that kind of thing. Like it's the like goons, the shady boys goons are very much clearly like trying to fight the hand. Whereas Richmond and like you can see a couple of them are kind of circling with their weapons out, kind of like forming the circle. You might hazard a guess that when you join that circle, they might take you guys on. They're keeping they're stopping excess draining into the like ring they have formed. But yeah, essentially, if you guys want to use your like action / first round to get to Esme, it's literally that. It's the only thing you can do.
Is there a box or like a balcony I could get to where I could shoot from? Where I could see the stage and see Richmond and his boys?
There is one near the entrance, but you would have to go through the entire riot, out behind total cover, up probably you assume a staircase of some kind, then eventually come out on top of the balcony.
I don't know if this is like too much to ask out of character, but like, is the plan still to get rid of all this, like the boys around Esme, or focus on Richmond now and just Richmond?
I think the focus is get rid of the boys because they feel like Richmond's gonna pull a runner the minute he gets the chance.
Okay.
Your action, please, Laura.
Yeah, I'll just take a shot at one of the boys surrounding Esme then, like one of the side ones. If we're gonna pick them off and focus one at a time, then I'll follow the original plan.
I mean, you can't get a clear shot. You can't get a clear shot from where you are. It's a case of if you want to get in so you can attack them, you have to like fight your way through the riot.
Well, there's not much I can do. I mean, I can throw my flashbang, but I'm gonna hit. I'd get Esme, so there's no point in doing that. So, yeah, I'm useless then. I'll waste my turn going through the crowd, I guess. Because I can't think of anything decent I can do.
I mean, it's literally only a waste if you stand there and do nothing. If you're proactively trying to like fight the boss, that's literally not a waste. But yes, you waste your turn.
Well, there's nothing I can do with my first turn then.
Yeah. Esme, what are you doing? Are you essentially initiating a fight with Richmond?
Yeah, she's 100% gonna drop the smoke bomb and lash on her mask.
Right, cool. Isadora, what are you doing?
So essentially, this riot that's taking place, no one is like paying attention to Richmond and Esme.
No, bar the like 2 or 3 guys kind of like keeping their swords out, making sure like no hand of Yuria guy charges Esme or Richmond. They're very much like they look like they're kind of a little bit higher up than the regular goons, but like they're clearly like letting their boss fight this person.
Okay, and there's like 3 of them surrounding them.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna start heading towards them.
All right, cool. Initiative, please, friends.
Oh, boy. Oh, Jesus. Let's hope that's the only nat 1.
Wow, some good initiative rolls all around, guys.
There you go.
The highest roll should not have been a 4, but oh well.
Did you take improved initiative?
No, it's a gunslinger thing. I can add my proficiency to my initiative. It's called Quick Draw. Whatcha? And it's doing me no fucking good now. Oh boy. Ooh, he has his own token. He's so extra. He's kind of making me feel a little jealous.
Oh, stop.
No, like I thought our party were the most extra, and this is just like a little bit much. I'm a little bit upset now.
As we're making our way through the crowd, and as we're approaching them, Isidore is going to say into the ring to put your masks on.
Yeah, as you guys like force your way through the crowd, you're just getting bumps and wallops and punches, but it's not like enough to like damage you. But it's more just a case of like Izzy might like walk forward with like a bit of a bruise on her cheek, or like Coda might have a bit of like bit of blood coming out of his nose just from getting like a stray box off some guy's like gauntlet, that kind of thing.
Mm.
But yes, rock and roll. Richmond is up first. He charges Esme and he's like, "Come on, Esme!" And he swings twice with both his fists. An 18 and a 22.
Both of those hit, pal.
1 second, I forgot I turned on 3D dice because I was using Roll20 to show my sister how to roll dice. He's just straight up punching at Esme.
Hmm.
Esme, you take 9 bludgeoning damage as you are punched twice in the face. Like, right, a wide swing from the right and a wide swing from the left. And with that, it is number 3's go.
Ouch!
He is going to sprint towards Coda.
Ah,
Short sword drawn and swing at him.
I was hoping I'd get one round where I could do a ranged attack.
That is a 19 versus your AC.
19 is my AC, so attacker wins. I'll hellishly rebuke him.
I have a con save, please. And it dex save, yeah?
Yeah, dex save for him, please. Yeah, he passes. He'll take half damage.
Cool, yeah. You take a total of 8 slashing damage, 3 poison damage, but you do not feel it take effect. And he takes 8 fire.
He takes
Rock and
8.
roll, cutie cute. Coda.
Oh god, I know you're supposed to be targeting one dude, so I'm not sure who to go for.
It's also worth noting that these smoke appearing around dearest Esme. So these are slowly becoming more and more
They're becoming
obscure.
obscured. Do I take a disadvantage if I shoot someone while I'm in melee range with someone else?
Yes.
Okay. Shit. Yeah, I'll just hit the guy in front of me then, I guess.
Yeah, go for it, bud. Both hit.
That is 18 damage on number 3.
Neat. That was code. Is that all? Or?
Yeah, that's all I can do.
This one over here seems to be ushering some words, and you see faint glows appear around Richmond's fists.
Oh no.
Oh, really bad.
Esme.
You were saying I would take disadvantage if I was to attempt to range attack someone else when I'm in melee range of someone.
Yeah.
And what's the deal with if I was to be in melee range of? Oh no, fuck that. Esme's got a bonus action disengage.
Okay.
Dance back away from Richmond a little bit.
Okay.
Basically pull herself into the smoke. She's gonna draw the Rod of Pelor. She's gonna fire one shot at the one of Coda, and then she's gonna fire her second shot at Richmond.
Rock and roll. Hits.
That's number 3. And that's Richmond.
Yep.
So 28 versus 3,
Nice, nice.
8 versus Richmond.
Yeah, the radiant bolt pierces into him. He seems unfazed. The one over here screams as like they seem to turn into almost like a pillar of smoke, and their like form kind of like just dissipates as if smoke. They die screaming. That is Esme. Is that all you should do?
Yeah, she's like basically got the rod in her hand in front of her, holding it out between herself and Richmond, essentially.
This one sprints and essentially like nonchalantly like just jumps up and like drop kicks Isadora. Well, is attempting to.
Rude.
Very rude.
Oh shit! No.
Ha.
Fuck you.
Izzy manages to see it coming, sidestep. This person lands and actually lands prone. And with that, it is Isadora's go.
Can all you say? Sorry, did you say they're all turning like smoky?
It's more their cloaks. Richmond certainly doesn't look as solid as the others. Like when he swings at Esme, it's like his fists are solid, but like when he swings, his arm is kind of smoky. These dudes seem to only kind of like go full smoke when they've either been like killed, it seems now, or when they were first appearing, like actually like like teleping in almost.
Okay, so they're not like obscuring the area or anything. We can still
No. Yeah, no, these guys are like this dude is right up in your grill. So even with the smoke going everywhere, you can still see him. But the others are like Richmond is like definitely like consumed by a smoke grenade at this point.
Okay, can all of them make charisma saves, please?
Oh yeah, sure. I will go. Basically, I'll go number 1 in front of you. Then the next roll will be Richmond's, and the last one is number 4, which is meant to be number 2.
Okay.
I have it written down here. But yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice it at 1, 3, 4. I guess Richmond's number 2. Because he's a big turd.
Of course he saves.
But that was number 1 that saved, wasn't it? Oh, and Richmond saved as well, yeah.
Number 1 was the crit.
Oh.
Richmond was 27, and the number 4 at the back was 6.
Okay, well, 1 and Richmond save. The one at the back has Bane on him, so any
nice.
roll he has to subtract a d4.
Okay, cool. Rock and roll. All right, yeah. That individual is indeed Bane. Anything else you want to do, Amy?
Bardic Inspiration to Esme.
Rock and roll. And with that, we are back to Richmond, who sprints forward with a big dirty kick, followed in by a punch.
What is this guy, like a monk?
That'd be cool.
Well, he must be a monk.
I mean, he's definitely not fighting with grace. He's very much just swinging his arms broadly. Esme, 22, I'm assuming 11
doesn't hit.
Yeah, cool.
22, but 11 doesn't.
Esme, you take 5 bludgeoning damage as like the boot kind of connects to your chest sort of thing. He's like, come on, Esme, tell me I'm in the wrong. Tell me you don't agree. Like, killing these people is the quickest and most effective and probably the best thing for this city.
I mean, killing the hand, yeah, definitely, I'm on board. Killing the people or turning them to one specific god or creed, no, not on board. Sorry.
Number 3 is Coda.
Cool. I've never done this before, but I'm gonna bonus action switch my gun to the force modification thing.
Okay.
So I basically can shoot normally, I just can't use sharpshooter, right?
Correct, and you can't recover the bullets.
And I can't recover the bullets. Alright. I will take 2 shots at Richmond first of all.
Cool.
Or no, should we focus number 1? No, I'll take 2 shots at number 1. What did you say, Richmond?
Well, you should have advantage on number. He's prone.
Well, he's prone, so range should have disadvantage.
Oh shit!
So yeah, I'll take Richmond then. I'll go for the other guy when he stands up. Okay, so I'll take Richmond this turn.
Neither hit.
Action surge. I'll take 2 more shots at him.
Yeah, go for it.
Coda, these
19
shitty
hits.
rolls. So that is a 14 damage.
Yeah,
That's
14
force damage.
force damage. Yeah, cool, rock and roll. Yeah, he like hits his shoulder, and you can see it react as like a blast into it. Else, Laura?
No, that's all I can do.
Rock and roll. It's number 2's go. Who's up here? 1 second. Just checking the wording of this. Amy, you know
Yeah.
Bane. Is
Yeah.
that how to apply for saves if they're casting like a spell towards you and it's a save, or is it
It's
more
only-
for attacks?
Yeah, it's an attack. If they're rolled.
Ah, okay, cool. All right, that's
So
just,
if someone else has to make a save, it wouldn't affect it.
right. Can all of you make dex saving throws?
Oh boy, oh boy. We're all sexy people, relatively.
I mean, I haven't rolled above a 10 this whole combat. 4, 5, 4, 8, 3.
Laura, literally, welcome to being a rogue, so relax.
I know, it sucks.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Coda number 1 and Richmond, on top of Coda, start to glow a faint bluish outline.
Oh, good.
As you feel the familiar, oh well, not familiar, but you know the sensation of fairy fire overtaking these individuals.
Oh. Who the fuck's casting that?
That was number 2 that just cast that. Wait,
Yeah.
so Richmond and number 1 also have it on them?
Richmond number 1 and Coda, yeah, because it's everybody in the area. It's not just.
Right.
Oh, it is.
So does that
yeah,
mean
that's-
that mean we have advantage on Richmond and number 1 then?
Yep.
Oh,
Yes.
cool. That's nice.
Richmond is like yes. Let's see. That was Esme, you're up.
No! You stay away from
Has he
me.
got something where the more we hurt him, the more powerful he gets,
No,
or
it's
something?
It's
something else.
100% not the guy from Kill la Kill.
He's
I
just
don't
a
know what that
masochist.
is.
It's a bad eye.
Just think about who he is. Think about where he's coming from.
Well, like, does he want to die or whatever bullshit?
No. Whose turn is it?
It's Esme's. That's why I said Esme.
Cool. Esme is yet again going to bonus action disengage.
It's also worth noting that this edge right here is the edge of the stage where
Yeah.
riot.
Yeah, okay.
Hence why you would probably guess that dude was trying to kick her off into the riot.
Ah, fair enough.
What were you saying Esme does, sorry now?
One sec. I just
Yeah.
realized something.
I feel like the secret, like, true ending of this campaign is that the 3 bosses are the 3 Idris Elbas.
I mean, Roland and the other one is perfectly fine. It's just Richmond who's an absolute slap to the fucking crotch. Like, literally Roland and the other one who I keep forgetting. What's the other one? name?
Raymond.
Raymond and Roland are just literally like smoke cigarettes and like, you know, smolders into the sunset. Whereas Richmond is like,
Esme is going to. Is number 1 outlined in colorfulness?
Number one is currently prone, outlined in the glowiness, and upset that he didn't dropkick Izzy off stage.
It's fine. He's prone. It actually makes this so much easier to assess the situation. Esme bonus action back. She bonus action disengages. The problem I was having was I still have to bonus action to use my second
Insightful
attack.
fighting,
the
or...
right
Oh,
power,
right, yeah.
and I was fucking that up. But now I don't need to insightful fighting because I've got advantage on an attack against Richmond. So I'm gonna use 1 Pelor Rod attack.
Yep, cool, go for it. Yep, 23 hits, bud.
She's just like, beware my light, shroudy boy.
The bolt, like the radiant arrow, like pierces into Richmond's right shoulder, kind of just like that area, like the shoulder joining like the collar area. He kind of like kind of twirls back, and as he twirls back, he kind of becomes smoke, and kind of like it seems to be almost reactionary, kind of like swoops in like this towards Esme, and he's like bring it, Esme. And as he like reappears, you see his feathers up, and his face is kind of slightly more obscured. I'm with. Sorry, Esme, is that all you should do?
Yeah, she just yells when he like fucking shadow dances his way up to her. And she's like, "Wah!"
Cool. Number one is going to stand up,
Rude.
and their hand kind of becomes like they kind of reach like an open palm kind of thing, where like you see like this like necrotic energy starts to like leak out of it, and they kind of like grasp towards Izzy to like wallop her with it. I'm assuming an 11 misses, Amy.
It does.
Yeah, Izzy kind of sidesteps as this like necrotic hand kind of like juts past her, sort of thing, and they kind of like grin, and as they like pull their hand back, they like pull up like a short sword from the hilt.
What the hell? Like she says that, she's like, what the hell is this?
Izzy, you're up, buddy.
What she's going to do is swivel around so she can't get kicked off the stage, and then she's going to take out the longsword and stab it.
Cool, roll ahead, bud.
He's still glowing, right?
Correct.
That's 23.
Yep. 23 hits.
No. It's necrotic damage, but I'm guessing with him that doesn't make much of a difference. But in any case, the damage is 9.
Yep, cool. Alright, rock and roll. Is that all you do on your turn, Amy?
Yeah.
Cool. Richmond, wide-eyed. Well, you can see distorted eyes underneath the hood, Esme. But you can see the wide grin. You can see his teeth, like in the shadows, kind of thing. Like the white teeth kind of pop. And he swings kind of like lower than he normally does, like two big proper like swings into Esme's rib cage, kind of thing, like left and right. And these look fucking like haymaker style. 10 and 18.
18 hits.
Can I have a con save, Esme? You take 7 bludgeoning damage, by the way.
She's going to use her reaction to pop.
Rock and roll, buddy.
And she rolls a 16.
Esme, you just hear it. It's almost like you hear a crack. And you definitely feel like something like underneath her armor has cracked, as in like a rib cage bone. And yeah, you feel it kind of like it's kind of like a sharping pain that kind of like seems to be affecting your grip on the sword, kind of like can't seem to almost like swing properly. You have essentially disadvantage on your attack.
I like this. It's scary.
Okay, number 3 step. Coda, you're up.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, I can't really see number 1. Number 4 still in the smoke and doesn't have the very fire on him. Yeah, I'll take 2 shots at Richmond. So I have advantage on him, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna spend... Okay, I'll do the first one first, just to see what happens. Spend a grip point to make this first one a violent shot. We'll see if it hits. That wasn't... No, that was supposed to be...
Oh.
I did D2 one for some reason. So that's a 26.
26, yeah, 26 is.
Okay, so with this is a violent shot, I get to add an extra... What damage die? So it's 20 on the first shot. I'll take a second
Nice.
shot. I'll spend another grip point to make so also a violent shot.
Yep, hits.
That's a 17, so that is
Cool.
37
Rock and
damage
roll.
total to Richmond. And that's
Nice,
force damage.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry. Is that all you're doing, Laura?
Yep.
Rock and roll. This one appears out of the smoke to the side. Ooh, 11 misses Amy as a bolt of fire shoots over your shoulder. Does he have to roll again to get rid of Bane?
No.
No? Okay, yeah, okay. That's
It's just a minute duration.
all right. Rock and roll. That's a fucking solid spell. Right, that was to him. Esme, you're up.
Esme is going to dance around Richmond. And she is going to bonus action disengage, and she's going to take a shot at number 1. I have disadvantage on my next attack.
Yes, but since he has advantage, it cancels it out, and it's just a regular old attack. You may repeat the con save, by the way, at the end of your turn.
Okay, cool. And just 1 sec, I just need to check something.
Yep.
Are people doing okay health-wise? Like, I know I'm not a healer, I'm just asking.
I'm fine.
So, because Esme has disadvantage on this attack, she can't add sneak attack to it.
Cool.
But she's going to fire off against him anyway.
Yeah, rock and roll.
Nice.
Nice, buddy. Roll that damage. Ooh, nice. Cool. Yeah, 12 damage. This individual is not too great.
Yeah.
On their last legs.
Con save?
Yeah, please, you.
She maintains disadvantage.
Yeah, she does indeed. I'm sorry, buddy. Anything else we should do? Cool. It's
She
number 1.
just-
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no,
No,
it's
she's fine.
Cut out on me. Okay, cool. Number 1's going to swing at you, Izzy. 24.
Yeah, that one hits.
Can I get a con save off you, buddy?
We're all getting our ribs broken.
I don't have ribs to break.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Oh god.
Amy, you take 6 slashing damage and 4 poison damage.
Okay. That's only a 13 though.
You feel like some sort of weird like toxin take you over, and kind of like your joints start to stop a little bit, and you feel poisoned. You have disadvantage on your next attack rolls until you can repeat the con save at the end of your turn.
Okay.
That's all number 1 will do. With that, we are to you, Amy.
Can number 4 make a whiz save? Shit.
Is that the spell I think it is?
Yeah.
Aw, I'm sorry, buddy.
Think it is?
Why do they always
Everyone's
save
so
on that?
good. I hate it. Anyway, I'm gonna cast Healing Word on Esme.
Rock and roll.
I'm trying. You get back 11 HP.
Nice.
As a bonus, that's so handy.
Oh, I should do. Next round.
And with that, we're back to Richmond, who, like, with flourish and style, spins to face Esme. And as he spins, you hear, like, the long drawn-out steel on probably cheap iron, as a sword is drawn.
Oh god.
like he kind of like as he pulls it up, he kind of holds it high, and you can see it's like what looks like a long sword, kind of wide blade, long black jagged like smoky charcoal flakes flicker off it as he like pulls it up into the air, really kind of like like ashy dusty charcoal blackness, and the top of it is kind of curved, and at the very tip on the far left is like a hook. So like if he sliced in, he could hook in and probably twist, do some awful damage to your innards, that sort of thing.
Esme does not laugh in the face of this strange sword.
Yeah, he puts both hands on it, and like kind of as he steps into Esme, he swings.
Ah!
16 out of 15, Esme.
Esme's AC is too high. He cannot catch her.
As Esme dances in between the swings, is like as this sword swings, a trail of like flaky charcoal kind of like flickers off. And with that, we are to Coda.
Number 1's not looking too good, right? And I still have advantage on him?
Yes.
Okay, well I'll make my first shot and see what happens, then I might use my second shot on someone else, so I'll try the first one anyway.
$19 hits.
Ooh, 8 damage on number 1.
Yeah. Yes. They scream as a pillar of smoke consumes them.
Cool. Do I have a good eyeline on number 4, or is he still in the smoke?
No, he's obscured. You'd have disadvantage of the roll, but you can kind of make out where he is.
I'll shoot Richmond then. So I have advantage on him. I'll spend. Ooh, actually, I need to reload. Can I use my second attack action with the crossbow that Esme gave me? Because I can stow a firearm and draw another thing as a bonus action because of quick draw, or as a bonus action, as a like I can do it as a single object interaction thingy.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. What are the stats for the crossbow? Is it the same roll to hit as my regular crossbow?
Literally a standard crossbow,
Cool.
but it's just it's a con save.
26.
Hits.
So it's just a D8 plus Dex, yeah?
Yep, D8 plus Dex, and he'll roll a con save.
So it's 12 damage.
Ooh,
And he
nice.
got 1. Okay, so he's bleeding, so that's an extra D. Do I roll the D6?
Yep. No. Yeah, you roll a D6. He'll do that slashing damage. Essentially, he'll take that until he saves.
Okay, cool.
And with that, Coda's go ends, and with that, we are to this guy. Isadora, can I have a wisdom saving throw?
Sure. I was.
You hear a ringing in your ears, but nothing comes from it.
Oh, cool. I should pick that up as well.
It is now Richmond's turn. A 22 and a 14.
20 hits, 14 doesn't.
There's an 18 necrotic damage now.
Does he take more bleed damage now?
She's gonna use her. She's gonna use her reaction to half that.
Cool. Can I have a con save, please? And yes, he will make the con save. Oh, cool.
Oh,
yeah, he
sorry.
takes more
Okay,
damage.
yeah, so 6 damage.
You stacking the effects? She about to get locked down?
Oh god.
I'm just wondering when all of the nasty boys are going to be on fire. Is it now?
Esme, you feel your total strength ability score deplete by 1.
Okay, that's fine. As Esme says, partial werewolf, like partial de-werewolfing in effect, but not so much as to reduce my mod yet.
And with that, it is Coda's go.
Okay, I'll take 2 more shots at... okay, I can only take 1 shot at Richmond because I have to reload my gun. So I'll reload and then shoot him, and I'm gonna spend a grip point to make this another violent shot.
I thought you were using the crossbow?
I can swap weapons as a bonus action because I have quick draw.
Oh, okay.
20 hits.
21. Force damage. Oh, I should clarify, the crossbow last time would have been less because it wasn't
Why are you doing 2d10?
because that was a violent shot. I spent my last grip point, so I added extra damage die to the bullet.
Neat and fun. Cool. Anything else you want to do? Or?
No, it's me. Actually, well, I probably should move up to try and tank, but I feel like he's kind of focusing Esme anyway. I might just move so I can see number 4 a bit better. Yeah, I'll just sit there.
Cool. Right, cool. That was Coda. Yeah, can I have a wisdom saving throw, Coda?
22?
You hear a ringing in your ears, but it does not take effect. Esme.
It's my turn. She is going to. I still have disadvantage, so she's going to do her drop back, her bonus action drop back, and she's going to just continue to kite the Richmond.
Yeah, that hits.
Richie?
Yep, the radiant bolt strikes into his chest and kind of like twirls back. Anything else you wish to do, Esme?
Con save against the disadvantage.
Yes, please, and thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, that's still stinging, buddy.
yeah, no, that's fine. Then that's her.
Isadora.
Can 4 make a wisdom save?
A 2.
Finally. I tell him that he really isn't living up to the aesthetic and cast Vicious Mockery.
Ooh, nice.
So he has disadvantage on his next attack roll and takes... Oh shit, I rolled that wrong. Sorry.
He takes 78 damage, he's dead. We killed him.
Yeah, well done. Okay.
I just want to clarify, it's not a bonus action for me to swap weapons, it's a free action. So I just want to clear that up.
Oh, cool. He takes 8 damage anyway, and I'm going to give Bardic Inspiration to Esme.
I got Bardic Inspiration, I forgot.
Then I'll give it to Coda if you still have yours.
Yeah, I do still have mine.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright. And it is now Richmond's turn. He takes a step forward.
Of course he does.
Aims his sword. Esme, dex save, please.
Oh boy, it's a shooty sword.
Of course it's a shooty sword.
Yeah, you have to have like a gun sword. You have to be cooler than all of us with this cool smoke aesthetic.
How dare he?
Esme, you take half damage. From the tip of this blade, it starts to glow a dark, like ethereal green. You see like laps of purple come out from it as like he aims it forward, and you see like this bolt comes all like shooting out, watches over Esme. You feel like this necrotic energy like wallop you, but you only take half damage. As it's going, he kind of like directs it upward into the ceiling and like down towards the crowd. And as he's like slicing it down, you notice that essentially like a curved arc of this energy flies towards the ceiling as it comes down, and the chandelier and like velvet above like catches like these necrotic flames, and like the building starts to smoke, and you see the chandelier that is over this gargantuan riot behind you starts to like teeter, and like you can hear it slowly snapping. And with that, it is Coda's go.
Cool. Can I? Is sorry. Sorry.
What was that? No.
I was just like, where's the damage? And then I was just like, oh, there's the damage.
Is 4 still obscured, or can I see him now from where I am?
It's more a case of it's everything in this area is obscured. Unless you're within 5 feet of him, you're going to have disadvantage.
I know we should get rid of that dude, but I'm just going to shoot Richmond again, so I'll just take another step around Isadora so I don't shoot her.
Yeah, thanks.
And I will shoot Richmond. I now have reloaded, so I can shoot twice. That's 18
both
damage. 14
Rock and
damage.
roll. Esme, you're up. Oh, sorry. Apologies. You were not. Number 4 looks to the ceiling and vanishes.
No, fuck you. Come back here and take your disadvantage attacks.
Turns into a pillar of smoke, and the smoke kind of like whisks away, and you're not sure if it kind of melds with the shadows cast by the fire or the smoke caused by the fire, but they seem to just, become one with it and are, not before you.
Oh, forget Red. Number 4 is my mortal enemy now.
And with that, it is Esme's.
Well, given that I can now make both of my attacks because he is also ranging, Esme is going to attempt to do this. Does the fairy fire stop taking effect now that your mana's gone?
Yep.
Cool, so I am rolling with disadvantage. I fail to do so.
Ooh.
Yeah, the bolt just kind of like veers off into the corner and strikes a random like guard in the back of the head kind of thing. See the helmet kind of like move up and dodge him. Yeah, Esme, your ribs are still like screaming out in agony. And with that, it is Isadora's go.
Shit, okay. I'm just going to take a shot at Richmond.
Yeah, go for it, buddy. You do have disadvantage as he's obscured.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, roll.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, no, that hits, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I rolled that completely wrong again.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
I don't know why I keep doing this. I got the snow madness. That's what happened. 12 damage.
Ooh, nice.
Snow madness.
You hear the chandelier crack, snap, and pop as it like plummets to the floor.
Rip.
A large crash and bang is heard as it like crushes both Shady Boys and kind of Yuria. Richmond looks Esme in the eye and, smiles and, sheets his blade and he's like, it was a good effort, kid. And he slowly starts to become a plume of smoke. And like the smoke kind of like rises up towards the fire, and as Esme's eyes, and I'm assuming the rest of the party, eyes follow it, you see that this entire building is completely engulfed in green flames. And the riot that was once fighting seems to be kind of more like a mix of like, are we still fighting? And complete panic as like the chandelier has completely like broken outward and there's bits of wood everywhere. And you hear from the back, oh, the back doors are chained. That kind of thing. And yeah, we will leave it there as the fire races around the room.
Why do we always... Our last session in Yuria is always burning down a big building and trying to escape. It's happened twice now.
Because
Drama and tension.
hello.
I mean, let's get some new scars out of this one, I guess.
No.
Rock and roll.
Cool, I should stop the stream now.
Alright, night stream.